Welcome everyone to Saturday Dark Sun with Saving Throw. Thanks for tuning in once again. We've got a jam-packed session full of hopefully slightly less dangerous stuff this week compared to last Saturday. Last Saturday was a little rough on the party. This week, I'm sure it's going to be smooth sailing, no problems. If you didn't get a chance to tune in last week, the party actually freed the city of Tyr from the Sorcerer King. Dark Sun being a crapsack world with authoritarian leaders in every city, the party saw fit to change that.
Brah, brah.
Yeah, they took down a Sorcerer King with a little bit of help and opposition from chat. Probably
chat. I think there was more opposition.
A lot more opposition.
More than likely, yeah.
It was pretty much they would kill us and then save us. It was kind of like tormenting thing. They would like kill us to save us, to kill us together.
It's like godly role. They're like, dance puppets.
Yeah. Chat reminds me a lot of like cats that are playing with mice, and they may not even realize that you're sentient beings, you know. So much like cats, actually, I think chat is sociopathic. Anyway, thank you for tuning in last week, those of you who were there, and those of you who helped / hindered the Sorcerer King and the city of Tyr. We went for 26 hours last Saturday. That was pretty sweet. We raised much more than we needed to raise, so that was pretty cool.
Nice. Thanks,
We're,
guys.
Thank you.
We're already working on June now, right, Dom?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, yeah. So we're working on donations for June. So maybe in the next week or so we can start working on July or August. So again, thanks everybody. Please donate to the stream. Give rerolls to these people. You can also add NPCs or buff NPCs. But I think it's always good to help out the NPCs, particularly because I always give them plenty of challenge to start with. But if it looks like things are going easy, you can always help me out a little bit. Lastly, please go to our Patreon and become a backer on our Patreon. We're going to be opening up new levels, new donation levels on our Patreon so that you'll be able to get even more involved than you already are. There's a lot of cool reasons to be on our Patreon. One is like just the little perks that you get, but also the amount of money that you spend on our Patreon just ends up coming back to you anyway. So you can basically use your Patreon currency to donate to the streams. So if you're planning on donating to the streams, $5, $10, at that point, there's really no reason not to just put that money into the Patreon, because you can still have that money in XP to donate to the stream. So, bang for your buck. There's just no reason not to be a Patreon backer. So please back us on the Patreon, and let's get started with introductions.
Also, there's new levels for Patreon.
Oh, right.
The $10 level can buy bonds.
Oh, that's important.
Not buy, but they can assign bonds.
Yeah, so all of the players at the table have bonds, and if you are a $10 or above backer, then you will be able to assign bonds to a player for that session, and the bond will stay with them after that session. But when you assign the bond to them, they'll essentially be playing for you that day. So that's cool, I think, and you'll get to see how that changes how the character plays, because you'll be introducing something that the player has to treat as being canonical to their character when you give them that bond. They'll still be able to pick the person in the party who they have that bond with, but it's a fact that they can't change at that point, and that could be a lot of fun. Bonds are really one of my favorite parts of Dungeon World. So put yourself up to $10 a month as a Patreon backer if you're at $5 now, or just start at 10. Really just quit fucking up your life is kind of what I would like to impart.
We all know what you were going to spend that $10 on, and it's not worth it.
No, it's not. It's really not.
How many sexual escapades are you going to go on before you realize your life is void of any meaning?
Short of gaming.
Short of
this one thing matters.
Watching a bunch of people you don't really know play a game.
Social, okay, guys?
And that's the issue.
We're not playing Final Fantasy here all by ourselves, naked, dark.
No,
I am.
That's a separate stream.
You guys want to leave?
Yeah.
I'm totally down for all of that.
And I think that's something that's why a lot of people are. That's why a lot of people are kind of getting into this whole like tabletop streaming thing, is because people are sick of just sitting at home in a dark room, doing nothing, and instead they can watch us not sit in a dark room and play around. But also, I mean,
we'll talk to them.
Yeah, we also interact with chat, and it's actually fun to talk to people on Twitter and stuff like that.
It's gonna be weird without the TV here this week. That was
nice.
It was nice to be able to see.
What people were
saying.
I'm excited and terrified for the future, wherein they'll be able to project themselves in the room with us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the garbage.
Like
we'll have to look at the garbage.
Whenever there's like
people,
100, I mean, because I'm assuming there are thousands of people watching this.
Thousands.
What happens when
That's
there's
fair.
like 1,000 VR people
Right.
in here, like all yelling at the same time?
Well, I imagine that like these
There's gotta be a
walls would sort
barrier.
of like be VR walls, so we wouldn't be able to see them,
It'd
and
be
it
a
would
stadium.
it would be like a stadium, and like
Yeah.
they'd be all around us.
Yeah.
We actually did that before.
That sounds amazing.
I love it.
I
Yeah.
can't wait. I've been listening about all the stuff about self-driving cars. I'm like, yes, bring it on. I don't know why people aren't. Get with
Dude.
the future, people.
Tesla's killing it right now.
I agree.
Watching
Yeah.
that,
So
I've
excited.
seen 2 different videos of that car auto driving, and it's
I'm all about it.
insane.
People are like, oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want the car to... I'm so excited for the car to drive
Yeah.
for me.
There's
Do
no-
not want to drive anymore.
Nothing's gonna go wrong with it. Like,
Nothing.
Hello, naps. That's all I have
Nothing's
to say.
going to go wrong with it any more than what can already
Exactly.
go wrong with
yeah,
it.
Exactly. Yeah, any problems we have are problems that are already happening anyway. So whatever. We'll just trade one out for the other and then
Exactly.
have a general upgrade in our quality of life.
And be able to have, like, real comfortable... Never mind.
All right, so I'm gonna let's get started introducing ourselves.
I don't know
So
if that's gonna be comfortable.
we'll start with the person who has without introducing himself dominated a good portion of the conversation.
sorry.
Go ahead.
My name is Max Crandall. I play Hockey Stoneskin. And I'm a mule, a battle mind. And I'm the new law here in Tyr.
Ooh, that's a good catchphrase.
Yeah.
That's intense. I am Alyssa Appleton. I play Ember Duskgrove, the halfling gunslinger.
I'm Eric Reichert, and I'm playing Yenin Markovich, the human wizard and new sorcerer king.
That is open to interpretation.
I have ring on my
that's true.
finger.
I am Justin Baker, and I am playing Sislak the Great the Third. Greatness runs in my family. I am
Runs
the
away from your family.
leader of the group, from behind the curtain, if you will. I learned that one from Yenin.
This is this week we are missing Aoden, our fire cleric, and
Our
he will
healer.
be
Right.
your healer. It'll be
Right.
fine. You'll be fine. You don't need a healer. Last week the group, like I said, took down a sorcery. Oh, by the way, I'm Sean Graham, your GM for Dungeon World. Last week. We all worked together to take down the Dungeon King. I'm going to include myself in that because I was just as much a reason for the Sorcerer King going down as you guys. You know, I did throw a much more difficult Sorcerer King at you than I should have. I will fully admit that. But we all learned a lesson from that, and I think going forward, everything's going to be fine.
I think it's no fun if we don't have the chance of actually dying.
I agree.
That is a good omen. Broken pencil.
There's
Oh,
more
that's-
pencils right here. Like a whole stack of pencils.
All right, I'll take one of those.
Okay, so
That's
the
just my
party
pencil.
the party finds itself in its new estate. You guys have. Oh, actually, let's cut to Ember first, so that we can actually get Ember. back. Last week, Ember
like,
was,
dude, just
Ember
under the
was
rubble.
trapped underneath the city, or on the other side of a bunch of rubble. So, Ember, you found yourself cut off from the rest of your party. And it took you a couple of hours to find your way out of the sewers as you were. The group was moving from the Sorcerer King's palace towards the Colosseum for an encounter with the Sorcerer King, and it took you a couple of hours to find your way out of the sewers. And eventually, you found your way out, and the city was just in complete chaos. It didn't take you long to make contact with some Veiled Alliance folks. And they were able to impart to you what's going on. The Sorcerer King is dead. Long live the new Sorcerer King. No one actually says long live the new Sorcerer King. But they let you know about what's going on, and they tell you you should be able. They send you off to a section of town towards the iron mines where you'll be able to find your friends and your party members. So you find yourself at this sprawling estate, this beautiful manor, which was originally owned by the gentleman who owned the iron mines of Tyr. And as you arrive, the party tells you what has happened, which is that essentially Tyr, through the party, has reclaimed the iron mines for the city of Tyr and has essentially nationalized the iron mines so that they are no longer the property of this business owner. The party also saved this slave-owning business owner from certain death when all of the workers / slaves / indentured servants were rebelling. So the group saved him, and he is now kind of the de facto manager of the iron mines, but he no longer owns them. You were also told that the iron there were problems with the iron mines, that they hadn't been producing very much even for a couple of weeks before this rebellion, because there's some sort of workers were going missing, and there was some sort of dark omens or something inside the mines. The Veiled Alliance communicated to you that it would be very important to get the iron mines going again, because that's like 3/4 of the city's livelihood is dependent on those iron mines. It's very uncommon to have the ability to produce metal in Dark Sun, so there's a lot of money to be made there. But Tyr has put all of its eggs in that one basket, which is good for, if you're running an economy, make sure you put all your eggs in one basket. That's always a good way to go.
It's a lot easier to carry them that way. You know, got all these baskets.
Yeah. Different baskets, different buckets. That's
And then you're like, where did I set that basket?
Man doesn't need too many baskets.
Exactly right. Haki, the wisdom of Haki.
He's getting more and more gunslinger. It's just Western hockey now.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Gunsmoke.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. As you all get up to leave the house, you actually see Haki, and it looks like he's walking like John Wayne now. Just that real weird, awkward.
Well, hello there, little lady. Why
All
don't you
this
step off
opulence.
your high horse?
All this opulence and comfort here at this manor is making me a little skittish.
Yep.
I'd like to head down into those mines, find out what the problem is.
Rustle up some varmints. Aodan actually is looking like he is in very bad shape. If you'll remember last week, he, in an effort to save Yenin, he healed Yenin, but had to basically run through this thick black ooze to do so. And it didn't seem to hurt him, but now his eyes have a real thick, almost opaque black ooze, or just like dripping grossness that are all around his eyes. And he thinks just bed rest will take care of it.
It'll be fine.
Should we kill him while he's not here?
He's acting completely normal, as far as, like he's speaking normally. You can tell he is in really bad shape.
If it comes to it, we killed Sorcerer King. We could kill Eoden. No problem. If we needed to.
Nobody dies on my watch. Unless I say so.
Oh.
Hey!
So-
What's everybody doing?
So you moved your way towards the iron mines, and there's one very large entrance, and of course caverns that kind of sprawl out from there. But it looks like they're just kind of picking at the beginnings of the caverns without very much, not very much is being produced, because as you run out, you got to go deeper and get more and more iron.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to want to go deeper into the mines to do that, and there are very few workers. It looks like in general.
I finish off a bowl of bug juice that I brought with me from the.
Sure.
Toss it over the shoulder.
Good call. Yeah, that thick honey
Oh, man.
bug nectar.
Love this stuff.
Yeah.
This is so good.
It's the best thing to do in that hot 115-degree sun.
Bug
Can
juice
I-
was a good idea.
Can I discern realities?
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
Ah,
You discern the shit out of those realities.
that's a 10.
Yes.
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 Or actually, it's plus wisdom or plus intelligence.
I think it's
Plus wisdom.
Yeah,
Then it's just a 9.
Oh,
You have more intelligence than wisdom? Bro.
come on.
Oh, no, I don't. It would have been -1 with intelligence. So I'm just gonna be. I guess if I'm looking at these guys, I'm gonna be like, "Well, we're heading down to the mines, boys. What should I be on the lookout for down there?"
The foreman that you had spoken with last week, the dwarf, actually waves you down. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you were asking.
We're gonna head down to the mines.
Oh, good. Somebody's taking care of us finally.
What should we be on the lookout for down there?
People been getting grabbed up by something. Don't know what, but some sort of. I mean, we've heard a lot of rumbling. The ground's been shaking a lot. Looks like we've seen traces of spattered blood that looks just. It looks organized, I guess, like drawn in patterns where people are getting stolen away from. Does that make sense? Like there's, not like drawings, but like shapes. You see what I mean?
So not a monster, but a
Symbols. Men can be monsters.
man. Truer words have never been said.
I don't know, hey, there's a rock. I'm just saying that's pretty true.
Well, maybe it's a stone.
Oh, hockey, buddy, pal, love it. Hey,
But isn't
Hucky's
I love
family
all
has
that.
like 10 different words for rock.
yeah.
every stone is a rock, but not every rock is stone.
I
don't
love all the
understand that.
talking.
I'm so glad I found my way back.
I would like to. Oh, by the way, Frankie, this is Ember. Ember, this is Frankie.
What's up, bro?
Hello, it's nice to meet you. I have heard much about you. Frankie and I would like to suggest that we all head down into the mines and find these drawings. I love drawings.
Yes,
I'm
I might be able to do.
pretty sure. I
Frankie
said
will lead
that-
the way.
Said that
Right.
a minute ago, but yeah, I agree.
Everybody seems very receptive to Sislak's idea.
Well, it's a lonely road I walk.
Yep, it's the
Right,
only
and
one
as
you
everyone
know.
walks in the mine, I walk behind them. So. Dum, 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 dum.
Hockey, I like this song you're playing for yourself. You know what? Let me see if I can strum some of that out of my lute. Dun, dun, ding, ding. Dun. You know what? I don't play a lute.
Yeah, nope, not yet. So it takes you a couple of hours of navigating through the mines before you get to clearly the area that they're trying to avoid, and you do see spattered blood on the walls and on the floor. Some of which is just blood spatter, but a lot of it is just symbols drawn on the ground, nonsensical symbols.
Let's see. Would discern reality help me to determine if I understand these symbols?
Or would spout lore be better?
I think spout lore would
Spout
be
lore.
better.
Okay, I will try and spout lore. Oh, this is. See, what's spout lore is a plus
Plus
Intelligence.
intelligence, so that's 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think these runic-looking things are?
These seems to be ritual of some kind. Like someone is trying to complete something or doing something,
summon something.
perhaps.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You're almost certain that's
goddamn.
what it must be.
I was like, spout lore, and then I was like, oh god, I'm gonna give us something worse than he.
Yeah,
Spout lore's
I really
great.
don't understand why spout lore wasn't. These drawings mean nothing. And pretty sure some animal came by and this scramble. Like, I don't understand how we keep doing spout lore. We keep rolling 10s, and then we keep making really bad lore choices.
It says, sorry, I killed people. I go now.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I will never come back.
Yeah. I also have clinical depression and am going to kill myself so
Yes.
that no one has to deal with me.
Oh, and look,
my
I
evil
roll spout lore.
actions.
Right
And-
next to it is Bati, a
Yeah.
thing that did
And
this.
here's a direction to all the loot.
Here's
worry,
the map in his hand
Yeah.
to a cavern of loot.
Don't worry, I have also cleared out all of the caverns on the way there. Okay, but instead, Yenin has actually determined that there's some sort of thing is being summoned using this blood and these runes. It's pretty clear the blood trails off deeper into the caverns.
Well, are we going?
We go. I go.
Oh, of course you're asking me. Yes, I say we follow the blood spatter. Frankie, lead the way. We'll do this for you.
Poor Frankie.
Okay, so you travel along for a pretty good while, actually, while you see this blood being dragged. So you're not sure how many corpses that is, but it's a good number of corpses for blood to just be trailed for another 45 minutes. Eventually, this cavern reaches very clearly a square door, which had been excavated by the miners. And through the door is a much larger cavern, which is carved as a cube. It's just a room, very large, maybe 100 feet high and 200 feet wide and deep. So it's a huge cavern. And you see a giant figure, which is about, at its apex, 70 feet tall. And it's a statue with, it's short and squat in its stature. It's obviously 70 feet tall, but looks like a kind of it looks kind of like a mule, I guess. It's really stout, but it has the huge beard, and it's got what looks to you like plate armor on the statue, and holding a battle axe and a giant metal shield. Underneath its legs, you see another door in between its legs.
Dwemer?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Dwarves?
Dwarves,
Dwemers.
yeah.
Well, in my tribe, we consider spiders to be creatures that have preternatural senses, and my spider sense is tingling.
As you walk through the next door, your spider sense actually does start tingling a little bit, and you can tell something is off here. The next room is a little bit smaller. You see a couple more of these dwarf statues, but they're actually life size. So about 5 feet tall each, including, with the battle axe raised above its head. So the figure itself is maybe only 4.5 feet tall.
In Dark Sun, do we have knowledge of what the world was before?
No.
Like the apocalypse?
No.
So this would be pretty weird.
This is real weird.
We would have no idea that these are probably Duragar.
Right.
Right. Most people the average person is not even literate, and then the idea of studying history is so far beyond. I mean, people like Yenin would, study a little bit of history, but even then, it's like, yeah, we could learn about history, or we can figure out some way to survive the next couple of years. So
Yeah, Yenin reads up on things that make him better, not just I wonder what this place used to be like.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some sense among the people that things couldn't have always been this bad.
Right.
But that's about it.
These things, these statues, they look like gods, the way they're dressed.
I mean,
Powerful gods.
they're definitely something.
Nothing I've ever seen before.
Meaning that.
I feel like I've seen something like this before.
I think you're lying.
No, I've seen a lot of things.
The hair,
Filthy
the
liar.
lack of hair on the back of Haki's neck is tingling, standing up on end.
There's something here with us. Something in the room.
There's another door straight in front of you. This is more of a hallway. You see the statues on the sides, and there's just kind of a straight path going forward, and then on each side the floor is just raised up just a little bit.
There's like a
is there
statue
still-
on either, on like,
On
either
both sides, yeah.
How many statues?
Just 2.
Is
Can
there-
I,
Right
like,
before the door.
can I
There's
just
still-
like stone out and punch one of these statues in the face?
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
Is there still blood being led through here?
No, the blood
Blood
kind of
stopped.
slowly. I mean, it was still being dragged, but eventually, as you got into the first very large cavern, it just kind of petered off.
Exsanguinated.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna punch this statue in the face.
Okay.
Hey,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. So, roll your damage.
7.
Okay. So you run in and just punch this statue, and the statue attacks you with its axe. Roll me a D8 damage.
Okay.
yeah, I had a feeling that was about to happen. Oh,
Blow
Okay.
for blow.
Yep, reduced by armor. So you actually, so you see Haki run in and punch this statue, and the statue, which is holding the battle axe up in the air, just looks. The statue actually shows surprise in its own eyes and just attacks back with its battle axe. Like maybe it doesn't even like, oh shit, I can be alive too. That's cool, I guess. Who wants to go next? The other statue appears to be inert.
all right. Well, before we, yeah, I'll do a commanding shout. Oh, sweet. So I'm gonna yell out, "Oh, hey there! Looks like Haki's found himself a little friend. I say we help him out. Charge!" I'm doing this right?
Yes.
Yes. And then I also charge.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a D4 damage. I'll give you a D4 damage, and I'll give you a D4 heal.
Cool.
And then I'll do a hack and slash.
On the statue that attacked
Yeah.
Haki. Okay.
Let's roll. See what happens there. Sweet.
Wow.
Doing real well right now. And then damage is D6. Oh. So 4.
Okay.
And everybody's got a +1.
All right. +1 forward.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
I guess Yenin will fire a magic missile at this thing. His leader commands it.
Ooh. No, he will not.
That will be some experience.
Let's see, 3, 5. So, yay. But I do have an extra attack, but from last week. But
Oh, yeah. You've got a Leroy Jenkins on the board.
yeah. So I will use. It's like, go ahead, and then use my wand that I claimed I wasn't going to use because it's not as good as magic missile.
Yep.
And 4, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So you go ahead and roll magic missile damage with the wand.
Okay.
Do you lose magic missile when you fail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, 4, and then plus the D4.
Sweet.
So 8.
Okay. 8, and it's ignored by armor because it's magical damage. So you're just kind of stunned at like like magic missile is such an easy spell for you to cast. How you failed at that, you're not even sure.
Thank God my constituents didn't see the Sorcerer King fail like this.
Yeah, they don't need to be seeing you fail. So instead, you grab your wand and shoot off magic missile, and you don't even really know how to use this wand yet. So it's kind of weird that not only do you not know how to use the wand, but then the wand casts a spell that you do know how to cast,
That
but
you
failed
can
to
do.
just moments earlier. And you think that somehow your ring has something to do with that. In fact, I'm going to give you the first use of your ring for free just now for that. So you actually don't lose Magic Missile, the spell, and you ended up casting it through your wand. And you can write this down. So the way that your ring works is, in the future, you can basically break the rules once for every single ability score. So anytime something doesn't go your way, you can, using one of your ability scores, justify how you're breaking the rules. So you can do it once with strength, once with dex, etc. So basically you get 6 uses of the ring to break the rules.
Ooh. Oh, and I forgot that with my new Commander's Tone, I get an additional hold on Commanding Shout.
Yes, you do.
So I can just hold those, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I use these whenever?
Yep, you can wait.
I'm going to
Disperse it
stockpile
later.
the shit out of these things.
Yep. And additionally, Max, the crystal that you picked up last week,
Yes.
It essentially works as alchemy. So you can convert like lead into gold or stuff like that. So it actually does work, like you mentioned last week, the equivalent exchange theory.
Nice.
So it works like that. You still have to, make a roll for it and use your wisdom as the bonus. But molecular arrangement there's all sorts of crazy shit you can do with that,
Whoa.
obviously.
But every time you use it, your facial features shift around.
Yeah, it's real terrifying. Obviously, the penalty for failure can be weird and not fun.
Sure.
But yeah, you can do all sorts of cool shit with it. There's a whole long description which I'll email to you later. And
Awesome.
Please remind me to. But generally, you're smart enough that you can figure it out.
I'm super smart, guys.
Yeah.
I'm like really smart.
Mm-hmm. I've always said that,
Haha.
and I love those snapbacks. I really do, actually.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so the statue crumbles from the magic missile that Yenin hit it with. I keep wanting to call you Lenin. Yenin hit it with. Lenin. I mean, Lenin's my bro. The statue collapses to the ground. The other statue has not moved. And actually, the back of your neck is still tingling, Hucky, even after the statue has gone down.
Well, I think I just pissed off that statue for no reason.
You just murdered a
I'm
statue.
going to agree with you on that. I say we continue heading on through the next door.
What do you have in terms of warding spells or?
I can see. I don't know what I have prepared at the moment. The only thing I would possibly, I could take an hour to prepare alarm, which would just kind of like, we could set up and then if somebody's coming, it'll let us know.
Well, that's why I've got Frankie also. Frankie is a burglar. He's designed for traps.
Oh, okay.
So as long as Frankie leads us, when a burglar leads the way, they can detect traps almost in time. If a trap would be sprung while a burglar is, I know, right? It's the worst.
It's
Like
almost
all
as
of these
good as everyone.
hirelings are like not. It's not the greatest thing. It's like they're okay.
Yeah.
They're just almost good enough.
Yeah.
If a trap would be sprung while a burglar is leading the way, the burglar suffers the full effects, but the players get plus skill against the trap and add the burglar's skill to their armor against the trap. Most traps leave a burglar in need of immediate healing. If the players make camp near the trap, the burglar can disarm it and by the time camp is broken.
Okay. Well, send him on ahead then.
We
Okay.
go.
So Frankie's leading the way?
Always.
Okay. So so Frankie goes leading the way through the next door, and and as soon as he comes up to the next door, and this door, it's actually closed. It's not just a portal. It's a closed door. He goes up to the door and kind of very cautiously reaches onto the handle of the doorknob, and it's locked. So he pulls out his thieves' tools and starts working on the door, and is able to unlock it, turns the knob, and immediately all around the room you hear grinding, and then the door just slams back shut in front of Frankie, and you hear bubbling as well all around the room. The door behind you is closed too, And at this point, you notice, you didn't see it before, but there are very small holes in the walls, and water comes trickling out of the holes, and the room starts filling with water. Not terribly fast, but it's rising like this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use my crystal of molecular rearrangement to try and turn this door into dirt.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Try and turn it into dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn this door into dirt.
It's funny that you would offer that, not knowing anything about the crystal that he has.
At
That's
all.
just that was just your idea.
I just know that he's made of stone, and I assume that all stone people
Oh
like,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
are related.
Oh yeah. All stone people can turn stuff to dirt.
Yeah.
You real racist.
Boy,
guy.
super
Isn't that common
racist.
So you said it's
Stonist.
wisdom, right?
Yeah, you had
so
wisdom.
it's just an 8.
Okay. So with an 8, you actually
+1.
you turn the door into clay. So it's if you go up to it, you can like push your hand into it, and it's relatively soft, but it's not exactly what you were going for. But
Sure.
clay is better than a like solid hardwood door.
Do you have like fire magic?
I have fireball.
Okay.
Are you thinking about like heating up the clay and then breaking it?
Yeah. Right? Heat it up and then fucking
bake
break
it
it
and break it.
down.
Bake it and break it.
Bake it and break it.
The old bake it and break it.
You'll bake it and break it.
You could cast fireball in here, but I think you can probably guess why it would be a real bad idea.
It's a real
'Cause
confined
it's a
space.
fairly confined room. Yeah, so there could be issues with that.
I'm swimming now, by the way.
Yeah, it's up to your neck right now, which for the rest of you isn't too much of a problem because
Yeah,
halfling.
like ankles. Yeah.
Yeah. But the water is getting pretty high now.
I guess
I could try to shoot the lock off the
I was
door.
gonna say, well, there's no lock now because
Well.
we turned the door to clay.
Also,
I was gonna have Frankie try and pick it
Also,
again.
as the water is up to your neck, Ember, you're actually now starting to realize that, yes, this is water, but it is not real clear, and it is really fetid water. It just smells just dank.
So it's Flint water.
Not in the
Flint
yes.
water.
Flint water.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Well, I mean, but I'm sure there are all sorts of like local Durgar around here that would drink a glass of it and tell you it's fine. But it is not fine. It is real gross.
I'm gonna try and spout lore.
Oof. Okay. Get it.
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, and I'm spouting lore for a tactical advantage.
Okay.
So I get a +1. I'm gonna say, I know a thing or two about water and clay.
Okay.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you do.
What's the total?
So what do I add to that?
You had intelligence.
Intelligence. 1 makes 8. I get a 9.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I got a no.
No,
I
that's
guess,
with
yeah.
your +1 advantage.
Yeah. I get a 9.
Okay. What do you know about clay?
Wow.
It does soften in water.
Yeah.
It's malleable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I know about clay and water, is water makes clay malleable, and we can just punch our way through this door.
Once the water is sort of touching the clay.
Yeah, which it's about halfway up the door now, so it is already touching the clay. Unfortunately, as you say that, you realize that the water that you're in has, so Ember noticed it just by smell because it was so close to her nose, but you're actually starting to use your finely tuned, your mouth is open, which is how you smell, of course, and you actually notice that this water is, not only is it dank, it is very clearly poisonous. Like you're starting to feel your scales burn, and the rest of you are also starting to feel your skin burn.
Ooh. That is touching the spot. Oh, that's not good, guys.
Well,
Haki, why don't you just try and muster your way through this clay door?
Sure. I'll do it.
Punch that clay.
I guess.
And I'm going to give you an extra D4 in damage.
I guess. Can I put myself in danger to sort of like crouch down under the water and like?
Absolutely.
And like
yep. Yeah,
punch
it's
it,
definitely more dangerous to go underwater and submerge your face into this poisonous water.
Yeah.
It's more like disease-ridden water.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You add a d6
But-
if you put yourself in danger.
Yep.
Okay.
Or I think it's to the damage.
To the
Yeah,
damage.
it is to the damage.
Okay. Well, so I have to
Still
make
gotta
it
hit.
happen. Make it happen first.
Yep. Got to make it
You
happen.
got a +1. Oh, I didn't like that. I can't see
Yeah.
the dice.
Not great.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so 7 though.
All right, well, you
Not
do
a
hit.
6. Yeah, so roll your damage. You see Haki just dive underwater, and all three of you are like, no! Don't do it. It's too late. He's already underwater, like just double punching the bottom of this thing. Which makes sense, because that is the softest, it's going to be the softest part of the door, because that's the part the water was.
Yeah.
And you've got a D6
Yeah.
bonus and the D4 if you want it.
Sure. Well, it's 10, 12.
12 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, real good.
Door no more.
Yeah, so you punch into the door, and it kind of, it's not good. It absorbs, because you're underwater, you can't move your hands as fast as you normally would.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, the door just kind of absorbs it. But you think like as you hit it, you realize it is pretty soft. You think you could probably just shovel a bunch of it out with your hands and just carve enough that maybe you can get to the other side of the door and the water will start rushing out the bottom. But you'll need to stay submerged under here, and you're going to be taking a good amount of damage from. I mean, you've already swallowed a little bit of this disease-ridden water, and you're probably it's getting in your eyes, and it's making you feel real sick. So,
Sure.
But you'll have to stay underwater to do that.
Yeah. Well,
can
all
take
for
turns.
all for the team.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. Roll me 2d12. Take the worst of the two.
Okay.
Hey, worst of the two. That's something.
The worst of the
Oh,
two. That's
as in the
something.
lower of the two.
Yeah, the lower of
Got
the
it.
two.
Because
Yeah.
when you say the
Oh,
worst of the
okay.
two, I think
Oh,
I thought the
yeah.
I
higher
also
of
thought
the
that
two.
as well.
See, I think that's the
'Cause
better
that's-
of the two.
Yeah, it's all about perspective.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, see, that's not bad at all. Yeah,
Okay.
Nice.
2.
Take the
That's
2.
not bad.
Nice.
Not reduced
What'd
by
you roll
armor.
second?
A 2 and a
10.
10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 2 damage. That's nothing. So you see Haki go under the water, and just frantically you see his arms scraping at this door, and you can feel the water rushing behind, like at your back, rushing towards the door now, and it's rushing right out the bottom of this door.
It was just that healing thing you gave me before.
I was going to ask, yeah. I was going to suggest that at some point.
Yeah. The water rushes out the door. You're able to continue just moving this clay door out of the way. And
Yannick
the water is
grabs
still
onto
streaming.
Ember just so she doesn't get sucked in.
Yeah. Yeah, you grab the back of Ember's coat, and she's fine. The water goes rushing into this next hallway and goes running down because it's a decline. The cavern seems to go deeper and deeper, or the hallway seems to go deeper and deeper.
Well,
Yeah, right.
sorry.
Good call.
That was me coughing up all the stuff.
Yeah,
I've
we
certainly
can
had
see it.
certainly had cake nectar that's been worse than that.
That's probably true. I mean, some of that stuff is real gross.
I've yet to have a bad batch.
And that can't possibly be true.
I'm pretty sure it is.
As you go into the next area, the cavern opens up, and you actually see like buildings carved into the side of the walls, and it looks like what as players, you guys would recognize as like an underground dwarven city. But as your characters see it, and it is just very foreign to you. All of these different
But we can
homes
tell
and-
it is a city.
You can tell it's a city
Yeah.
for sure, but the idea of carving the city into the stone walls is very interesting. It's very weird. Culturally, you've never heard of anything like that.
This is quite intriguing.
I'm smart. I don't know why anybody didn't think to build down underground. It's a lot cooler down here.
Yeah, it is. It's nice and cool.
Yeah.
I prefer to be upside.
Great. It's hot up there.
Yeah, it is.
I guess you're
Just like
a
life.
dragon sort of a guy who don't mind such things.
I have a fiery inside that's burning to be released.
As you walk down what I guess would be the city street, you notice there are, every once in a while, you see like almost like a stand, like a wrought iron stand holding a purple orb. And they're throughout the city. You see them, every 20 or 30 feet or so. Most of the buildings.
Are they just dormant? They're not doing anything. They're just like hanging out.
Well, I mean, they don't look like they're doing
Oh.
anything, but I mean, they're
I
in pretty
wanna-
good condition compared to the city has been.
I wanna
looks
go-
like ransacked.
Grab one of the orbs.
Okay, defy danger.
Hey guys, check these things out.
Wait, I don't think.
Imagine
What do
we're
I add to
having-
that?
What do you want to add?
I guess strength.
Strength.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna grab one.
Okay, so you grab a hold of it, and you actually see, all of you see Sislak holding this orb, and then immediately just crush it with his hand, and it's some sort of composite material. You're not exactly sure what it's made of, so it's not like a stone orb, but he just crushes it with his hand, and you see, just for a moment, you see Sislak's eyes just go black and then go normal. They go back to normal.
Oh, whoops. That was weird.
The fool of
That's
a
a
man
word
who
for
goes looking for danger like you.
I wasn't looking for danger. I was looking for this purple orb.
You
I
feel
found one.
very powerful after that. You feel invigorated and just
Oh,
ready for battle.
yeah. I feel great, guys. Ugh.
Okay.
Looks like
I can't-
Sislak's been dipping into his crodloo powder again.
Yep.
Hey,
Let's
boys,
keep going.
let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's tear
Guys,
down that wall.
guys,
I don't
guys,
like that wall. I
guys,
think we
guys,
should knock it
guys,
down.
I love this city. I love this city. Guys, this city is great. Let's keep looking for things. Frankie, in front. Frankie, go on.
Frankie's like, okay.
Right,
Calm down.
relax. Take a second.
Frankie scouts out pretty well ahead of you guys, and a few minutes later comes back and says, I found a place where it doesn't look like it's totally ransacked. Give me a break. It's not my
Well, I
place.
like it. I like it.
I love when
I
you
like
do
it a lot.
Frankie. You are more than welcome to do Frankie whenever you want, sir.
It doesn't
Well.
look like there's anything valuable, but it's worth checking out.
Frankie, be honest with me. Was something valuable there?
No.
All right. Gotta keep an eye on you, you little scamp. Okay. We're
I'm
gonna
a-
follow you. We're
I'm
gonna follow
a
you.
thief, I get it. So you get to this building, and Frankie checks it for traps, and there's no issue there. So you go inside, and it looks like it's like a library. But it's the only building in the area that looks like it hasn't been ransacked. It looks like it's in good condition. The books on the shelves look like they're also in pretty good condition.
Would I recognize
your-
the
I can
language?
see
your
why the
spider
place
sense?
hasn't been ransacked. This is the most useless place in the whole city.
Good point, Hockey.
How's your,
You
your neck
absolutely
hairs?
would. It's
They're
basically
fine.
all this stuff is written in common. It's just like you know, it's like Old English where it takes you a little while to get through the sentences because you're like, this is real confusing, but you can figure it out.
My neck hairs are bored, is how my neck hairs
Yeah, your neck hairs are not tingling. They are.
No, this
flat.
is really exciting. Like they have all this stuff. They have Beowulf. They have.
I don't know. There's no pictures in any of these.
Some of them do have pictures.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. This one does.
Great.
Yeah.
He will be okay for a few minutes.
What does this say? It's colorful and it says something. It's like in these words look like they rhyme with each other. What is this fancy book?
It's one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this.
It's weird
I
because
thought it was other places you'll go, but I love that we were both.
the second word is like you read the word out loud, fish, but it doesn't have any translation.
Yeah.
You're like, don't know what that word means, but that's what it is.
Don't know what that means, but I love this book. It's so colorful.
Yep.
I go sit down and start flipping through this
Yep.
book.
Yeah,
Like a very
there's
adult book.
yeah there are a lot of books like that.
Must have some magical properties inside of it.
There's you think the books that you're reading seem to have some very important lessons. Like this must be where this old civilization got many of its myths, and much of its like moral direction must have come from books like this.
Ooh, this one has what looks like a fenric tree.
Yep.
Ember just sits down and kind of sighs and like takes out her guns and just starts cleaning
Yeah.
them.
Yep. This is the worst.
Is there anything that looks like, you know, how to become a sorcerer king in 6 easy steps? Like,
Sorcerer King for Dummies.
yeah.
Yeah, there's very clearly like a magical training section, and there's all sorts of books. So you're looking at basically like how to increase arcane power.
Yeah, arcane stuff about rituals and just anything.
Oh
like-
yeah, if you're looking at rituals, then that's real easy to find books like that. The first book you open is like, you know, blood magic and you.
Yeah.
How to make other people work for you.
Yeah.
The book, it's funny, like a lot of the books, even the books that are ostensibly not about blood magic, are about blood magic. Like whoever maintained this library before this was like, they felt like arcane magic and blood magic were basically the same thing, and there should be no reason to differentiate between the two.
Is there any like paintings or murals on the walls, or like
Yeah,
like a map or a scroll that maybe would be like oh, the history of this?
You are here.
You are here. Yeah, well, you do see on a table, you actually see like a city map carved into the table, and there's an X that says "You are here." It's very convenient.
Can I discern realities?
Absolutely. You also see a mural on the wall that it appears to have those dwarf-type creatures that you saw before, and in this mural, they're very clearly being subjugated by what looks like humans.
Looking through these books, and I'm like, well, this is fun, but what here is useful or valuable to old Sislak?
You you look at, primarily the books that Yenin is looking at look like they would be very valuable. They're also, like, you know that these are dangerous books to
Yeah.
own, like very dangerous books to own, but they would be extremely valuable.
Black market style.
Also, for the next like 15 seconds, the ground just shakes underneath you and is rumbling.
Oh, forgot to have breakfast.
Tyr is not known for being an area that experiences earthquakes, and you guys experienced a very small one earlier that was a couple of seconds, and then now this other one that was about 15 seconds. More than likely, none of you had experienced an earthquake before today.
Yeah.
Heard about this before. The gods, they're angry.
I don't believe in such nonsense.
Well, godless man like yourself wouldn't.
The earth is angry.
Well, the earth is a god.
I guess I'll take
Your cleric would agree with that.
I'll take like 2 books because I can't carry that many, I'm sure. So
Okay.
I just kind of grabbed 2 that seemed like.
Okay, so you grab Blood Magic and you, and you grab Defiling for Dummies.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring the Lorax and 1 fish, 2 fish with me.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the Fenric book behind.
Well, that's the Lorax.
Oh, it is. Oh, of
there
course
like
it would be.
Is there like some blank paper or anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
probably grab some like blank paper.
Yeah, there's actually also there's a cup with quills inside of it, and the quills appear to be in perfect condition.
Sure, I'll grab all that stuff. Stuff that I could either sell or, doodle on.
Yeah.
I just like I look over and he's got like an incredibly valuable book and he's just drawing pictures of like kanks and stuff like that.
Also, pictures of Haki taking down the Sorcerer King.
Yeah, like me
Punching into
standing.
the Sorcerer
He's
King.
got X's on his eyes.
Yeah. Just a crude stick figure of you punching through his chest. And
Someday he's gonna get really good at that, guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be the next pop culture mashup star.
I don't want to be a downer here, but I feel like I'm going to be right now. Notice that those shakes are seeming to get a little bit longer each time.
Now that we've come down, are they stronger?
I mean, this one was definitely stronger than the last one, and you have come down.
I just feel like we should probably find whatever's causing these problems and maybe get out of, I believe you put it, Dodge?
That's right.
Get out of Dodge.
I don't know
Get
where
out of
this
Dodge.
Dodge is, but,
But we should
I've
get out of
dodged
it.
many things, and I
I'm
will
not
get
sure.
out of things when I'm doing
I'm
them.
not sure where this Dodge is either, but I feel like it's a place. And it makes a man chancy and a little lonely.
I think it's pronounced Doge. It's D-O-G-E.
No, I've had a Doge.
Oh.
He was a good boy.
Oh, okay. Oh, but
Such a
then-
maze, that Doge.
Such a maze, that Doge. He can has cheeseburgers.
Oh, even the Doge can?
Yes.
Oh.
Much cheeseburger.
Much cheeseburger.
Much cheeseburger.
Okay, so you guys, as you look at the city map on the table, you actually see marked out there's ahead of you, the vast majority of the city is behind you at this point, and you see ahead of you there's a forge, and there's also a, let's see, there's a forge, and there's also like a training, like military area.
I like forges.
I think I'd be down for forges too. I think that's something that Sislak probably.
As
Right.
you approach the forge, you actually hear hammers inside the forge banging.
Well.
I have this great hunk of steel.
Seems like we're not alone. Frankie, why don't you sneak on up and see what you can see?
Frankie, of course, agrees because this
I will
is
do that.
dangerous.
It's dangerous and I like danger.
I will do that.
I will do that on the
Just
day
kind
of
of-
Dallas' wedding.
Looks real quick into the cracked open doorway, and comes back and tells you, so there happen to be some gray-skinned mules or dwarves. I don't know. They look weird. Real weird.
Wait a second.
He's getting
Is
Jewish
your
in my
Frankie-
version.
I was about to say, is or like I was gonna say Seinfeld. Like
Yeah, he's getting very
more
Jewish.
George Costanza.
Yeah, I was gonna say George Costanza. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's getting very Jewish.
Sizzlick, they're over there. I don't know, they're banging on things. I got gray
I
skin.
wouldn't go in there.
I don't know what's going on.
Listen, Jerry, don't go in there.
Yo, Frankie, what's the deal with the people in the forge?
Come on.
Would
What's the deal?
would I know anything about gray-skinned mules? Would that be like
That is
something I'd never
real weird. Other than if they were mules that rubbed ash on their skins, maybe like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that does not sound like a thing that exists.
All right, I'll go ahead and I'll go talk to them.
I agree with Haki. Frankie is lying.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, Frankie, you didn't see correctly.
You don't know what you're talking
First of
about.
all, me and Frankie go way back, and I trust Frankie.
If he's gonna go, I'm gonna go back him up. I won't talk, but I'll certainly stand behind him.
Frankie says, "I never lied. The only thing I ever lied about was being a thief."
So everything.
Yeah.
Is that an ocean?
Yeah, it was an Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an Ocean's 11 quote.
Does he do this afterwards?
Which is also an Ocean's 11 reference because
Yeah.
they do that throughout the movie.
It gets worse in Ocean's 12, and by Ocean's 13, it's just every other line is this.
Yeah.
They're just walking around like,
Yeah.
holding their
Brad Pitt
shirts
is
open.
eating food and like.
Yeah, it's really hard for. It's a lot of handwork for Brad Pitt. Clooney just does the double though.
So I
Funny if by Ocean's 13, Brad Pitt is just like eating oversized bowls of cereal, giant like the Flintstone style like
rack of
ribs.
I always love. I genuinely love it when like screenwriters or whoever are like, God, how can I make this guy more of a, you know what, let's give him some food.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
he'll be more of a character.
That
if
was
I
not a
give him
screenwriter
food.
decision. That's a Brad Pitt decision.
That's
He
true,
does that
yeah.
in all his movies
Yeah.
if he can get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
just
can
like,
I eat during
Can I
this?
just be eating during it? Every scene I want to have gum in my mouth.
Yeah.
I need to be doing something. I need an
Yeah.
action.
What is it?
He's like, listen, I've been away from craft services for 10 minutes. Can we
What's
figure something out?
the one
Excuse me?
burn after reading? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Power bar.
Yep.
So Sislak approaches the forge and opens the
Pushes
door.
open the door.
Hello.
These gray-skinned dwarves, they are gray-skinned, turn and look to
Told ya.
Sislak, and they pick up their hammers and immediately charge towards you, just
Lord.
screaming. You can't make out what they're saying because it's in a different language, but they look very angry.
Can I use? Is this a social situation?
Oh boy. The only
Isn't everything?
Right.
It would be a social situation if you can find a way to intimidate them into not attacking you.
So I've got words of power.
Okay.
And when you attempt to take charge of a social situation, convince someone, or show personal authority, roll plus charisma.
Yeah. Go ahead and you can definitely give that a shot.
Whoa! That wasn't.
That's all you say.
That's it. So it was kind of a blossom move.
Yeah. So I got a 7. On a 7 and 9, the GM chooses 1.
Okay.
Do what you say or agree to your viewpoint. Disagree entirely, but see your point regardless. Back away cautiously. Abandon hostility or flee. Attack out of desperation or goading.
Okay.
And you and your allies take a +1 forward against them.
Okay, cool. And your point of view was whoa.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
just making sure.
like I do the universal sign for stop.
Yeah. Like
Whoa.
Yeah, real blossom move.
Whoa!
Let's see. They attack out of desperation.
Yeah, sure.
But everybody gets a +1 forward against them, so
Right.
that's good. What do you do?
I say, they're not stopping. Attack.
I
guess
shoot.
Okay. Ember takes a shot. There are 3 of them.
I shoot. Are they like in a line or are they in?
They're separate. They're
Okay.
all in different spots. of the board.
Like,
I Deadpool jump to the side so they're all lined up.
You do the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade thing and just
9.
shoot through 3
You got a
Nazis.
+1 too. Did you
10.
get that? Yeah.
What did you just
Actually,
say?
you get 2 +1s. You've got a +2. Everybody's got a +2 right now.
Okay.
1.
What do you think I said?
I thought you said you got a fuck one. And I
You
was
got,
like,
you got a fuck
I was
one.
like, whoa.
That's part
Don't
of this
say that.
ability.
That's how we win. You
Ember
have
shoots
to.
bullets with her garage.
But you said you have a +1.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And then I realized everybody's got actually a +2 right now.
Yeah, cool. So 1 damage?
1 damage.
We have a
Okay.
+2 forward, or just like
Yeah,
a +1
+2
+1?
forward.
Okay, cool.
How would you say? Would I know if they're far enough away at this point that I could use fireball and not incinerate myself and others?
You know what? You would absolutely catch him with it, but no one else is going to be anywhere close.
No, I don't want
I
to.
really don't mind.
It
It's
does a lot of
it's a
damage.
heavy hitter.
Yeah.
So I'll just
Fireball does a tremendous amount of damage.
I'll just do a regular old magic missile.
Good
yeah,
call.
that's 12.
Okay.
And since I did since I got a 10 or higher, I'm going to turn it into a 7 to 9. Take the whatever consequences you want, but I'm going to make it hit 2 targets. So instead of just the single at 1,
Okay.
because that's my new ability, empowered magic.
So you can. So you end up having to pick from the list then, right? Since you're casting a spell.
Yeah, I'm going to draw attention to myself.
Draw attention. Okay. Cool.
And then let's see, 4. 5 damage to 2 of them.
Wow.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
Oh, do I still have your D4 damage, or does that like disappear?
No, you have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you do that, you shoot magic missiles at 2 of them, and you have to you actually have to kind of like step inside the room to be able to do that because of the doorway. And as you step in the room, both of the the one in the middle, which is one of the ones you hit, just points back towards the forge with his hammer and says a few words, and then just running out of the fire comes this like elemental thing that looks like it's made out of slag and molten iron and rock and just crap, and just comes running at you. And it, I keep looking for my dice but I don't roll dice in this system. Roll me a D10 damage and take a D10 damage.
All right. 3.
3 damage, not reduced by armor.
I have no armor yet.
I say that to you every time. I always forget
Next time I level, I'm going to get some armor.
Nice.
I'm going to step forward and take my troll strength stance.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9,
10.
10.
Cool.
Sweet. And then I'll attack. I'll attack the one that Ember shot.
Okay.
4, 5, 6. It's a fail.
Okay. So you end up having to run past this slag elemental that is attacking Yenin, and as you run by, just the heat of it singes you, and you take a D6 damage.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's real hot.
Ooh. Not reduced by
Not
armor.
reduced by armor, and as you reach the as you reach the other one, you just whiff on
Just
your punch.
whiffer.
Yeah, just straight up whiff. Okay. We're gonna call that the end of the round, so
Okay.
we'll start over. Who's next?
I'll do a commanding shout. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 10. So I get 4 holds. I'm gonna scream out. Whoa! Hey, Fireboy seems very angry. I say we attack him and get him out of this fray.
All right. So and you'll be going after the slag elemental as
Yes.
well. Okay. Cool.
And then I'll throw a D4 damage to everybody at the table. And then, does anybody need healing?
You can hold on to it for a
I'm
minute.
good.
Everybody's good? All right, I'll hold on to it then.
All right. So you have 1 hold remaining.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool.
And everybody's got a +1 if they go after the slag with me.
All right. Who's next?
I'm definitely gonna go after that slag.
Yeah.
Do I need to
Me
hack and
too.
slash it?
Oh yeah. Go ahead and hack and slash. Sorry. Let's let Justin finish. My bad.
Oh yeah.
5.
6, 7, 8.
So what I got? +1. What is it always? It's just
Plus strength.
plus strength. All right.
Yeah.
So 7, 8. I got an 8.
Okay, cool. So you run in and you do your damage to this elemental creature.
4.
As you're attacking the elemental creature, you actually you just get hit in the back of the head with a throwing hammer. One of these dwarves just throws a hammer and hits you in the back of the head,
Ow!
Who throws a hammer?
Not cool, dude.
and you take a D8 plus 1 damage from that.
6. And then is that reduced by armor?
That is reduced by armor. You've got a helmet or something. I don't know.
I got a thick head.
Yeah, you just have a thick skull.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5 damage.
Haki?
Yeah, angered by this thing burning me on my way by, I kind of whiff, and then I turn to like swing back at him.
You come in like a meteor against this thing and then whiff and then come right back.
Yeah.
You made me miss.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, 9. Roll your
With
damage.
the +1.
10.
10.
Baby.
Good call. Thank your commander.
Baby.
Thank you, leader.
Yep, the brave leader.
This dance.
The leader is good. The
By the
leader-
way, I haven't done this once yet. I'm doing that. After I get hit in the head with the hammer, I go,
the leader is good.
That's a
The leader is
universal
great.
sign for stop that.
Yeah,
Yeah, boy.
and you've got a +4. I mean, 1d4.
Oh, sure, right. So that's 9.
Oh.
Baby. And then plus another 4 for my focus is 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 damage!
Damn. Okay.
You were very upset.
Yeah, so you come just like a meteor into the room and like crash into this dwarf, miss with your attack, come back and do kind of like the backhand fist to this slag elemental, and your stone fist just goes through this elemental and it just explodes. The elemental just explodes it just goes into smithereens, and there is nothing remaining after that hit. It's just it honestly, it's actually somewhat peaceful for a moment as the ash comes down like a gentle snowfall in the room. It's just ash floating down.
Nice.
All right, who's next?
And the dwarves are just like, what?
All right. You can go.
I'll go.
Yep.
I'm going to use one of my holds and do rapid fire, and I'm going to take 2 shots.
Okay.
One at the one that I already hit.
Okay.
And another at, I don't know, one of the other ones. Oh, no.
Brutal.
But I level up!
Good call.
Yay.
Okay, so you're splitting your shots between. There's actually 2 injured dwarves in the room.
Oh, wait, do I get +1?
No.
Well, no,
Yeah,
because you're
okay.
not going after the slag.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the slag went down.
It wouldn't have done.
So you have 2 pistols, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a dual wielding gunslinger. So you actually end up doing
Like any
what
gunslinger
cinematically
should
looks
be.
like such a cool move. You like flip into the middle of the room
Yeah, this
and
is
just
gonna
like
look amazing.
split like
In
this.
fact, like Sizzlack just stops and goes,
They just jam.
"Oh my." Well, I don't believe in gods. But
Right. Yeah, in fact, you had been
Oh my
you had been
Oh my
planning this
me.
move like you were like going to like jump on top of the slag elemental and like stand on its head and shoot, and like as you were jumping to step on its head, Haki comes in and just blows it up, and you're like, you don't really know where to land now, so you just go flying through this fireball, which looks really cool in its own way. You land in the middle of the room, guns out like this, and you realize, and you just click, and there's no ammo. You forgot to load before you did that awesome move.
Because I cleaned my guns earlier.
Yep.
God damn it, Ember.
Alright.
Unfortunately, that also means that both of the injured dwarves come up to you, and if you can retreat without taking any attacks from them, but you're gonna have to move further into the back of the room away from your group, or they're gonna hit you and do some damage. So you're gonna have to segregate yourself further from the party if you want to avoid taking some damage here.
segregate. We'll
Yeah,
get you.
I'll do that.
Okay, so you're
'Cause
now.
I don't need I don't need to
Yeah, so
be
they
close to anyone to shoot them.
so they run. They're like charging at you, and you hop up onto the forge and then flip behind the forge now. So you're on the complete opposite side of the room around the forge from your party, but you're safe where you are for now.
And the three dwarves are still up.
The 3 dwarves are up.
All right, I'm gonna aim a magic missile at who I think might be the more injured one, the one that's taken a few hits. 5,
Nice.
6, 8,
8, 9, 10.
9, 10. And I'm going to empower that, draw attention to myself, and maximize the damage, or maximize the effects, which I assume is the damage of that. So he just takes 8.
Maximize.
Okay, so as you do that,
move.
That's just empowered. I can choose to either
Oh, split it or make
I can
the,
double the targets or maximize the effect.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, pretty sweet. So as you do that, you get hit by a throwing hammer, but the dwarf that you maximize the damage on just absolutely. You put a magic missile through his chest, like just opens a hole in him, and he falls to the ground. So you take a d8 plus 1 damage as the other 2 dwarves like focus on you hard, and actually both of them look like they're super focused on Yenin now. Both of the remaining dwarves.
I'm gonna throw you that D4 for health, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the round. Who's next?
Do I use that whenever?
I'll do.
or-
Yeah, you can use it whenever. I'll do another commanding shout. Be like, well, this is going swimmingly.
So you have 1 hold remaining right now, right?
I just gave it to.
Oh, you just gave it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 4.
Man, my holds are nice. So I'm going to direct a plan of action and say, all right, let's rally up. Rally up.
Yep.
Take point. Let's divide around. And what's funny is I've also been taking intelligence as my levels have been getting up. So
Oh,
I've
nice.
actually been getting smarter as this campaign has been going.
Nice.
I'm learning tactics.
That is very surprising.
I
mean,
know, right? I
That's
wouldn't
why
believe it either.
that's why we resolved our bond last week.
Yeah.
Because
I've been taking.
You actually
I've been
did
taking
learn from Yenin.
lessons. Let's 2-on-2. Let's disperse ourselves around this room and around these dwarves and take them out. Oh, sweet. 10 plus whatever, it doesn't matter. So I get 4 holds.
Nice, another 4 hold.
And I'll disperse D4s to everybody.
Woo!
do those stack?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So then I got another one.
As far as I know. I don't
Yeah,
see why they wouldn't.
just make a mark of what you've got. So there's 3 more out there. And then I will charge at the closest.
You can get to either of them. One is one is injured, the other is not.
I'll go after the one that's injured.
Okay.
My damage is not very high. I'm going to take one of the D4s myself. Wait, I'd allow an ally to deal. So can I not use that?
Nope, you can't.
Okay. Ooh.
Snake eye.
So I.
It's always funny when like some of us can't see it, but Dom always can. So,
Yeah.
and he
So when he goes,
comments.
Yeah, we get to hear the
Because like if it's over here and I'm like, he said oof, I don't even want to look. I don't even want to get up here. Ugh. All right.
So you go running into this dwarf, and the dwarf just steps back just a little bit, like you were putting everything into this swing, and you swing. The dwarf just steps back just a little bit, not even that much. You're like, how did I miss so badly? You were just so focused on like everybody else being where they're supposed to be,
Yeah.
and they did looks like they're following your directions, so you've got that all figured out, but unfortunately you did not spend enough time thinking about this attack, and you just miss wildly. The dwarf just takes like one tiny step back and just hammers you right in the face with the warhammer.
Harry.
And it actually does the full D8 plus 1 damage. So you take 9 damage as he knocks out a couple of your teeth.
Jeez.
Looking good.
Wow. Epic
I
fail.
am-
That was
I am-
Snake Eyes, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't going too far, but with
I mean, I
Snake
got a
Eyes,
plus
I
1.
didn't.
Yeah, you're like I rolled a 9. That's what a 9.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, guys, if you have even a hint of failure, that's the type of shit I pull. Snake Eyes just dead. Character's dead.
Oof.
Okay. So who's next?
I will step into the fray.
Okay.
I'm gonna punch that thing that just smashed him in the face. Like, no! I lift up.
Do the double fist, the Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Nice.
5. I have a +1.
Mhm.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, cool. So you do your damage. Well, actually, so as you come running in with your Captain Kirk, you realize that maybe because this dwarf actually is a little more competent than the other two, which is probably why he was so easily able to dodge Sislak's attack. So you realize as you're coming in with the Captain Kirk, the 2 fists, coming down, you're like, oh shit, I totally opened myself up to counterattack with this move. This was not the best way to go after this. So you can go in, but he's very easily, it looks like he's getting ready to just hit you like right in your what is that? Your
Solar plex.
Solar plex. Thank
Sure.
you.
Well, I see that and I go, Bring it.
Just like, bring it.
And you got a
I have
D4.
D4. 6, 10 damage.
Okay, so he just puts a foot up and just kicks you right in your solar plexus, right? And it's a pretty good hit. It's a D6 plus 1 damage, reduced by armor. So 4 damage reduced by armor. That's not too bad. And right as soon as like you guys hit each other at pretty much the same time, but this gray-skinned dwarf goes down from the. You just nail him, and you see lights go out, and boom, hits the ground. So there's one remaining who you guys have kind of flanked around, but this one, like seeing you flanking around, actually moves towards the back. It was going to focus on Yenin, but because of Sislak's brilliant tactics, you've kind of flanked around him. He can't do it, so he ends up moving right next to Ember. So, Ember, you're up. You've got somebody right in your face, though.
All right.
I also got this advantage I need to use at some point.
Yeah,
Is it advantage or it's what?
it's the same thing.
Would I be able to like
Yeah,
flip
it's
on top
extra
of the
D6.
forge and shoot, or am I gonna, or am I like, do I have to hack and slash?
You're gonna have to defy danger if you want to flip away. So it's basically you either have to hack and slash
I'll hack
or
and
defy
slash.
danger and then make your range attack.
Do you like do gun kata when you hack and slash?
No, I have a dagger and 2
Oh,
axes.
that's right. Yeah, you picked up the dagger before.
Yeah.
I wish it was gun kata.
Twin
would be
axes,
cool.
twin guns,
Yeah.
twin.
Just straight up equilibrium.
Yeah.
Such an amazing movie.
Then you get a +1.
10.
Okay, great. No adverse consequences.
4, and I'll use one of my
And use the D4.
D4. 8.
8. Damn.
Nice.
Axes or dagger?
I'll do the 2 axes because it has. I don't know if he's wearing armor, but it has +1 piercing.
Yeah, actually, yeah. All of these dwarves were wearing armor, so yeah, that absolutely. I don't know why I wrote down 8, and I should have written down 7. But you do the full damage to this dwarf with the axes, and you just carve open his. It's not impressive armor; it's kind of piecemeal armor, but you just carve open the shoulder and get a nice meaty part of his chest. And he's in really bad shape. You look at the wound and it's like, well, even if we don't take him out right now, he's not surviving that. But he is still technically up.
Well, let's put him out of his misery then with a magic missile. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, +1. Yep. 4,
Okay, and the
5.
ignoring armor.
Yeah.
The beauty of
I
magic.
just walk up and I go, sorry about this.
Yeah,
You were
it's a
pulsar
point
blast
blank.
it?
It's a point blank magic missile. Yeah. The
Bless you.
dwarf is like, I totally get it, bro.
Well, he's not. I have more plans past his death that he's not going to enjoy. Guys, I can speak with the dead. And I figure since he's dead now, we can talk to him and he won't fight back.
Sure.
Oh, that's great. I was gonna say I want to talk to these guys, but that's even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So all 3
Awesome.
dwarves are dead now. The slag elemental is no more. That's the encounter.
Yep.
So good job, guys, and barely a scratch to any of you.
Except to my pride.
I lost a couple teeth.
I think
Sislak's hurting.
I mean, yeah,
Sislak got beat up.
Yenin got a few solid hits on himself.
In
He's
fact,
okay.
Sislak's gonna need some healing.
Do you do any healing?
Can anybody heal?
No.
I can give you a health potion.
Okay.
Yeah, I had health, but I had a lot of them, but you guys stole them from me last week.
Yeah, they
Take one.
were
What
necessary.
is it?
I
To
had
give you
4 of
10.
them, and I was
Give
like,
you
this
10.
is
Yeah.
great. And then
Right,
everyone
good.
needed them.
Yep.
I needed it. Needed it.
Can I use the forge?
Yeah, the forge absolutely is functioning.
Can I melt down that like steel plate armor that I'm still fucking carrying around?
You know that you could use the forge to do that. It would take a lot of time.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're looking at hours of work to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Because I wanted
but
to
the
make some
forge,
bullets.
the forge looks like it's going to be here
Alright.
going forward. It's not gonna like fall. It looks like it's in good working condition. So it's
Can I
not
look
like-
around and see if
we-
there's
if we
any?
not time
we
sensitive.
killed the rest
Fair
of these
enough.
things down here and get the mine up and running again.
Yeah.
We'll just now have a forge.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll
Sweet.
have access to a
Perfect.
forge.
Is there? But while we're down here and walking, like, is there any weapons that seem better than what we're carrying?
Not better than what you guys have. No. Well, actually, you're still using a.
I'm still using the stone
a s-
warhammer.
Yeah. So yeah, you actually see. I
Take
mean,
the
there's
warhammer
nothing.
that smashed you in the face.
Yeah, you do see an iron warhammer that hit you in the back of the head. So there's that. I mean, it's not super impressive, but it is definitely better than what you've got. So it would do an extra 1 damage against armored targets. Basically, it would have +1 piercing.
So, yeah, I pick it up and I go, so much noise from such a little fella. I think I'll be taking you with me, my friend. And I take my old warhammer and just toss it back into the room.
Chuck it into the forge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of these guys would I?
I know.
Does one of them
It's
seem more
as
impressive or
unnecessary.
seem like he was like more of the leader?
The second one that you killed was the one that pointed back towards
Yeah,
the forge. And
he's the one
summoned
I'd
the
wanna talk
elemental,
to.
So that's probably the most knowledgeable one.
Good job.
Another one. Can
So
you reach this?
I've never done this before, so I should be careful. And we'll just I'll strip him of his any like weapons or armor just in case, even though that's not a thing that happens. But I'm
Were
not.
they wearing like armor, like metal?
Yeah, but the armor, it's not anything you would want to take from them. It's just kind of like, it's your standard Dark Sun, like a scale or some scales from this creature, a beetle, part from this creature.
So they're not as impressive as the statues are.
Oh, no. The statues technically weren't wearing armor. They were made of stone.
No, but I mean like they were rendered as
Yeah,
if they were
as
wearing
Yeah,
Correct.
armor.
the
Yes,
rendering
correct.
of them was.
Well, you can ask him, but like, I don't know if they've come upstairs, but like if they've come out of the. None of us have seen these guys. They've been down here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll roll now and then figure
What's
out.
the D&D name for the Dwemer?
It's Durgar.
Durgar.
Let's see, 4, 5, 6. With
Use that advantage.
yeah, exact same roll. So 6 total, unless I had a plus of any kind, which I didn't. So yeah, no, I don't think I can talk to these guys. They seem too far gone to me.
You're like, don't worry, guys. I
I
can
got
speak
it."
with dead. And he just does this to one of the corpses, and it just doesn't move. No reaction at all.
You said a lot of crazy things since I've
I-
known you, but
While I'm like focusing, I'm going to use my Constitution and one of my my charges in my ring to force this to work.
Okay, cool.
Because I see everyone judging me, and I'm like, no.
I put a hand on his shoulder and I go,
Do-
I
do-
believe
don't-
in you.
You actually
I couldn't even do magic missile.
as you put a hand on his shoulder, you actually feel the magic pulsing off of him. Like you feel the vibrations coming off of his body. You see like sweat beating up on his forehead, and all of a sudden the dark dwarf just like sits up,
I knew you could do it,
staring
buddy.
straight forward. At the exact same moment, the ground starts shaking even harder than before, and it goes on longer than previous. It goes on for almost 30 seconds, where the ground is just shaking.
All right.
I think I'd like to know what
Is this
that's
like bad
all
enough to
about.
knock me off my feet at this point? Or not yet?
I mean, you have to like widen your stance and kind of like steady yourself to keep
Yeah.
like everybody in the room kind of like has to do that to keep from going down to the ground.
I get 3 questions I can pose to it. I will first ask it, what is with the earth shaking? What is causing all of this?
The earth is shaking because your world will end soon.
Didn't it already?
Tried. You got more questions
I
for
got
it?
2 more. What else should I ask?
Obviously, we should find whatever's causing this and stop it from destroying the world. So maybe ask him, what, where's your lead? Take us to your leader.
Take us to your leader.
I don't think he can take us anywhere. He's kind
Well,
of.
I know, but
Blood magic, right? Ask him if it's blood magic.
I'll ask. Where is the one who leads your people?
He's preparing the beast to destroy the world.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beast.
we should probably stop that.
Yeah,
Always
probably.
a beast.
I asked where.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm dead, so it's like a little rusty
No,
right now.
I understand. I've been dead before, briefly.
Oh, I understand too.
I've been there.
He's near the barracks. That's where they're raising the beast.
Okay. Should probably
It's like a
ask what this
puppy.
beast is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to figure out if we could trick him into giving us like weaknesses.
What is best way to kill the beast?
That really
Very
tricked him
tricky.
into it.
I don't have to trick him.
Yeah, he just has to answer.
I just have to ask
question.
him, and he answers to the best of his knowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, well then never mind. I
Yeah.
was like, all right.
So say the question again.
But if we stop
What
the
is
guy
the
before
best
the
way
beast-
to kill this beast?
This beast is made out of metal and the souls of the fallen. I don't think you'll be able to destroy it. Our leader has said that it will take down all of Tyr.
So we need to stop the leader before the beast is actually.
I mean, that's what
'cause
the
he's still
Sorcerer
in
King
the.
said.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Metal, huh?
I think we could take out the leader. We don't have to worry about the beast being. You stop a ritual.
Well, you have been helpful. Enjoy the inky black.
Wait. Is there like a secret entrance to the barracks?
I've asked my
You
three.
get 3 questions. That's
Oh.
it.
Enjoy
really?
the inky black void your soul now goes to.
Yep, I will.
Okay. Well, I think it's time for us to go to the barracks.
Guess so.
Yeah.
So you go marching down the dwarven city street,
Can
and
we
you,
do it stealthily?
Oh,
Can we
by the way,
roll
did I
stealth?
get anything
Sure.
from that?
Yeah, you can-
I forgot about that
The orb.
power that I felt from the orb.
oh yeah, you still feel that. You feel it doesn't affect your game stats, but you feel extremely powerful. Like you just feel like you can take on anything. You still see those
Like this
orbs.
beast.
It's like,
Yeah,
like
you
did
still
ever
see those
You ever
orbs.
see Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they drink the magic potion? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, good call. You still see these orbs as you're walking down the street. There's a bridge that goes. There's a chasm, and then there's a bridge that goes over the chasm, and you can see right ahead of you, very clearly like a fort built into the wall of the cavern, and that's the last thing that you see here.
Yeah. Let's. I say we keep going this way. Frankie, lead the way.
Any way that we can do it real quiet like?
Yep, using stealth, using a dexterity roll.
I will be quiet.
That was quieter than normal. I don't know if I would define that as a whisper, but
Do you just do a normal roll?
yeah,
at our
dex roll.
dexterity?
Yep.
It's a 7. Oops.
Oh, that wasted 6.
Oh,
5
well.
is still pretty good.
Still a 10.
Haha, joke's on you, I am quiet.
When you want to be, yeah.
It's rare that I want to be.
How was that?
How am I the quietest one so far?
I was the most
You,
dexterous.
you guys are all
not.
like, you guys are like very quiet.
Now my
moving
guns
over-
go off.
Yeah, you guys are all kind of moving over the bridge, trying to be quiet, and the entire time Sizzlak is like, I'm being quiet, I'm being quiet, I'm being quiet, I'm being quiet, I'm being quiet. And the rest of you are like, Jesus Christ, this is distracting the fuck out of me.
I'm so quiet.
I rolled a 7,
That's
so
okay.
yeah, plus 0, so 7.
Okay, 7.
7.
No, 6.
Okay,
11.
yeah.
And we're just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so, yeah, Sizzlak just will not shut up. And, like, eventually, Sizzlak actually, like, steps on your foot at the exact moment that you're, like, just so frustrated that you actually do look to Sizzlack and you're like, shut the fuck up. And it just rings through the cavern.
Great.
You're like Pippin knocking over that bucket in Helm's
Yeah.
Deep.
Yeah, exactly.
Fool of a joke. Throw yourself in next time.
So yeah, but you don't see any no one comes running out of the fort. Nothing seems to change.
Well, excuse me for being quiet.
So there's
As you approach the fort, the ground just starts rumbling about as strong as it did before, just continuously. It doesn't seem to stop. So at this point, as you're walking, it's like very difficult just to walk normally now, as the ground is shaking.
Oh, we gotta get down there.
Let us boogie.
Boogie woogie.
Follow me. Follow Frankie.
Yeah. Follow me, following Frankie.
I am leading again as
Yeah.
I do.
Frankie actually does put up a hand and stop you and points up, and you see very clearly some runes across the top of the main entrance to the fort that are very clearly magical.
I can try and make us a different door. Eric Riker style.
Can you tell what these runes mean?
I mean, I can I can perform rituals and I can tell Sean what I'm trying to do. So I can say, I'm doing a ritual that will tell me this.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of do a ritual that'll discern what these things are. And then
Okay.
he has to tell me if it's how difficult it might be.
Yeah. So you can. So your ritual doesn't give you the full story. So it's kind of a lesser version, but you can tell that if you go through this door with those runes, some sort of it looks like it summons. It summons
The beast.
some sort of metal. It summons metal. You know that.
Yeah. So
I like
nothing,
metal.
nothing good comes from this.
You also think that you are capable of disarming it, but it would be, again, it would put you in a lot of danger to try and do so. Frankie thinks he might be able to disarm it himself.
I trust
I mean,
Frankie.
Frankie would be able to do it. He'd probably be like out of business for the rest of the camp, for the rest
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, so Frankie looks over to me and goes,
Look, we'll all be sad if Frankie dies. No one's mentioned this for some reason yet. And just,
why would you say that? What was
I'm
that?
just
What was
saying.
that
Listen,
you
all
said?
of us know that we'd be really upset if Frankie died.
yeah.
Whoa, hey, let's slow down. Frankie dying. That's
Nobody said you were going to
Nobody
die.
said
I'm
you're
just
gonna
saying.
be super upset
just saying
when
we'd
you
be upset.
inevitably die. It's
No,
gonna be
you just said
sad.
inevitably that time.
I
You
don't
used
know.
the word inevitably. I understand the word inevitably. Look,
It's gonna happen.
I don't appreciate this. I think I'll be fine, but I will attempt to disarm this trap because that is what I do.
Right,
and
we
I
will
have
give you a
favors
valiant
for
farewell.
Sizzlack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll miss you.
I'm not going anywhere.
No, don't worry. I can speak with Dead, so we can still have
I'm
Frankie.
not dying. Why do you keep saying? I don't understand any of you. Sizzlack. They all make some very good points. If you were to die, I would be upset.
When you will die.
All right, Frankie disarms the trap.
Okay, so as Frankie scratches out the runes very carefully on the door, he does a decent job, but right as he's finishing, you hear Frankie very quietly go, "Crap." And all of a sudden, you just see a whirl of blades manifest around Frankie like a blender of swords and axes and all sorts of stuff, and just go spinning all around him. And you see Frankie just go cross-eyed and fall to the ground, covered in cuts and just bleeding like crazy. He is alive, and you are able to like stabilize him, but he's like just almost on death's door.
So yeah, I'll catch him and I'll go. You've done well, Frankie. Our bond is still there and strong, and I feel the life force slipping away from you. But I'm sure if you stay here and rest, I'll find you on the way out. And then I just prop him up against
the door.
against the wall. Yeah.
I can't help but think that if we hadn't said anything, maybe he wouldn't have been so nervous.
See, you can't think like this. Life is strange like that.
The whole time going through his head, he just must have been thinking about dying. Maybe that's why he slipped up.
He didn't want to upset us.
If he hadn't have brought it up in the first place,
He didn't.
nobody said he was going to die but him.
I don't recall that happening at all. Anyways, I believe we have a shaky ground to stop.
So as you go through this door, there's a couple of it's kind of like a castle in that you walk into this fort and there's just a wall right in front of you, and then it goes 2 hallways go off to the sides. And if you go around either hallway, it's clear that they just circled back around to the same room on the other side of this wall. And you can kind of peek your head around the corner and see there is very clearly a Durgar caster of some sort of mage or wizard or sorcerer that's casting spells into a giant earth elemental made out of boulders and rock. And the earth elemental is just pounding into the ceiling of this fort, and just rocks are falling around it and around the caster. The caster seems to be not worried at all about these rocks that are falling down all around. And the earth elemental is actually, you can see it's laced with iron. It looks like it's got iron, almost like iron veins on the inside and outside of its body. Like the veins go inside of the rocks and boulders and also just lace the outside of its body. You also see tons of bodies on the ground in a circle around this earth elemental.
So I'm going to do a commanding shout. But I'm going to
I think it's a Duggar.
Gonna do it a little
They're
quietly.
They're not
Yeah,
good
exactly.
people.
I'm going to do a commanding
You
whisper.
say a Duggar? Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm going to do a commanding whisper. Okay, you two.
The
go
Duggar
around.
the Duggar has like 10 Duggar kids.
Yeah. There's like
around.
10 Duggar kids all over the place.
God.
There's like
molesting each other.
one that's like real. One that's real creepy.
Yep.
Ugh.
I hate
No,
everything.
that's,
like
hey,
shudders.
hey, by the way, you shouldn't feel okay about
Yeah.
that. That is
No,
terrible.
we're gonna
Six-
stop
six
them.
like
We are
shudders.
here to stop
Yeah.
them.
They're
I don't
the
like the way
worst.
this is happening at all. So I point to you two and I say, go around that side. We're going to go around this side. All 4 of us attack the caster.
Maybe let me cast first blow when time is right to attack.
Sure. 5, and then intelligence 6. Oh, I'm going to use my advantage. Sweet. So 4 holds, which puts me at 5 right now. How's everybody doing on health?
Well, I could use some, but you need some. Right?
I can't use these though.
Oh, you can't use the health thing.
Nope. That's the thing about the commanders. You can only inspire others.
I mean,
I'll take a healing.
if it's a
surge.
D4, I'd take it.
All right, so you both get D4 healing. You okay on health?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so that's 2, and then I've got 3 more, and then all 3 of you get a D4 attack. So that's all my holds. And then everybody gets a +1 moving forward on this guy.
on the caster.
And thank you for the advantage from last week.
I still have an inspiration from like weeks ago.
Use it.
I
You're
will.
going to need it here.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very challenging combat.
And then I'll wait for you to attack before I do my hack and slash.
All right, if we're in position,
You are.
I'm going to cast Fireball centered around these 2.
Okay.
And
Bro,
I'm gonna
man.
How many charges you got left on that ring?
I've got 4 left, so I'm gonna use another one to just
obviously.
will that to work.
And which ability score?
I'm gonna, let's see, I assume the first one was Intelligence, the last one was Constitution. This one will be Wisdom.
Okay.
And so do I roll again, or do I just get it?
No, it succeeds at a We'll say it succeeds at a 10, so it succeeds perfectly.
All right.
I'm not sure what it says in the book, but whatever. We'll say it works.
For now, until we
Yeah.
figure out.
Forever. I've decided.
Okay. Let's see. If it's a 10,
I mean, you've already burned through 3 today.
yeah.
I'm not worried about it going on that much longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a cool ring.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
Sweet ring.
since that's a
I
10,
just got too excited.
I'm going to.
Downgrade it to a 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna downgrade it to a 7. I'm gonna forget the spell because I don't need it,
Okay.
and I'm gonna add that D4 so that it's maximize damage. So
Boy.
so that's 12, 13, 16. Can I? How many of those D4s can I roll?
I don't think they carry over from combats. You should just have the one.
Okay.
For him, I believe.
Yeah.
Is it just I
Yeah,
don't know.
because it'll basically. My thinking is it shouldn't go. When
Yeah.
he refreshes his hold, anything that he's given out should be gone.
So 16 damage as a fireball engulfs these two, or one.
Okay.
I don't know which one. If the golem is even.
The golem looks
threat.
very active.
Okay.
The
Oh, 16.
so the reason that
Thank you.
the reason that the caster wasn't very worried about these giant boulders that are falling all around him, he's not even flinching.
Because he's got a
Some sort of protection field around him that you think you could easily walk through it. Any of you who use melee attacks, but for like range attacks and stuff like that, much less effective. He does still take a significant amount of damage from the fireball, but yeah, you can tell it blunts a lot of the ranged damage that came
Is
in.
it around him and?
It's just around him. The elemental takes looks like the full brunt of the damage from that
Yeah,
fireball.
well, I'll charge at the caster then.
Okay, hack and slash.
Yeah. Sweet.
Good roll.
And then sweet. 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna do like a jump hit on the caster.
You come in with your warhammer and just dislocate his shoulder.
and go, hey guys, I just thought of this. It's clobbering time. Just thought of that. And I turn to stone and I yell,
I like
it's
it.
clobbering time.
You from way oh.
What? I can't see the other one.
You just.
I did miss. It's a 6.
But you get a +1.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a 7.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, so you run in through the force field, and just as you're about to hit the caster, he kind of turns around and you're about to hit him, and you realize that he has like runes all over where you're about to punch. So you're like, I don't know what this is gonna do. So you can punch the runes if you want, but they look real dangerous. They're like on his skin. They're like carved into his skin.
Okay, I'll just, I guess, last minute go,
Nope. Yeah. Yeah. So you pull the punch, and he almost looks a little disappointed that you didn't punch the runes.
It's clobbering time.
It's clobbering.
I'm just gonna roll this 4 health thing right now.
Get your health back. Okay.
Ooh, baby.
And
Yeah,
Ember.
those have been rolling real nice.
Yeah.
I've been
These
rolling
fours have been-
4s, like,
No, I got a 1 on my heel.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess I'm gonna shoot at the elemental because what's the point in shooting at the caster if it doesn't
Doesn't take full damage from range
take full
attacks,
damage?
Yeah, didn't take my full 16.
which is so much.
7.
Remember when you said just cast fireball? It's okay.
Yeah, 16 damage. Can
4.
you imagine taking that to the face?
I mean, I took a pretty solid hit. from
9.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't have been that. That was max damage
Oh,
with a D4.
How much damage?
4.
4 damage. Okay.
What's a 9?
The element. Your.
Did you roll your D4?
Yeah.
4 damage total with the D4.
Yeah.
Okay. So you fire a couple of shots at the elemental, and it just kind of pings off of the elemental. Doesn't seem to even
got some heavy
hurt it. Okay. So new round.
Oh wait. Well, I mean it probably would ping off anyway. But if I upgraded to superior guns, do I get a +2 damage? Is that on everything
Yeah.
that I do? Okay.
Yeah.
So 6.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's better. So
Yeah, I think
one of the bullets
everything's
actually
gonna-
does sink
I've
into
noticed
it.
something in Dungeon World. Everything,
Every-
everyone
Yeah.
point
A little better.
matters.
Not everyone can be awesome like Yenin. Some of you have to do like 2 damage makes through their armor, but that's okay.
And some of us make it so that Yinin can get his 16 damage.
Yeah, how many hit points do you have total?
Yeah.
I have currently only 13, but total is 17.
Oh, that's actually better than I
That's-
would have
yeah.
thought.
Yeah, because after I almost died, I upped my constitution, so I was a
call.
+1.
Yep, good call.
So I'll do another commanding shout then.
Okay.
And I'll say, we've got them where we want them, boys.
Seems like you're all in great shape.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I say, keep going for the caster. That's an 8, so I get 1. And I'll throw that over to Haki because he's in there with me.
I've already got that one you gave me before.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't punch earlier.
And
that's right.
you're doing okay on health, so I'll give you a D4
Damage?
for damage. And then I will hack and slash.
All right, against the caster.
Yeah. Ooh. 5, 6, 7, plus 1. I got an 8.
Okay, you hit and do your damage.
That's 5 plus the 1 piercing. I forgot
Oh,
about
plus
that
1
last
piercing.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, so 6 on. Is it the 6 or is it?
Plus 1 piercing, just
Just-
let me know.
Okay.
And then if it has armor, it will do.
Yeah.
Basically,
So
it ignores 1 armor.
last time and this time were both 5s, ignoring armor.
Cool. So yeah, you go in with your Warhammer and hit again, and the caster isn't really wearing any armor that you can see, but there is some sort of force that you can kind of feel just as you're hitting. Your Warhammer slows down for a second, then you're like, nope, metal, bitch, and it punches through. The caster, this time, unfortunately, the runes do go off. The runes that Haki was choosing to avoid.
I have a feeling.
The runes explode, and all of these scars that he's well, they're not scars so much as they're wounds that he's carved into himself, and they immediately just, as you hit him with the Warhammer, in the other shoulder to dislocate his other arm, all of the
done a real
wounds
good
just
job.
start bleeding a whole bunch extra, and then he just explodes with this dark necromantic energy, and a black inky void just fills the room for a second, and then just it kind of does like a supernova thing where it goes out
Explosion, implosion.
and then implodes back in. Roll me 2d10, take the higher of the 2.
Blood magic.
Blood magic. Oh,
Oh,
That's a 3?
yeah.
that's
Sweet.
not bad. That's not bad at all.
Ignoring
buddy.
armor, right?
Ignoring armor. The other 3 of you can defy danger to avoid that.
So I just exploded this guy?
Yeah, he goes down.
If
Wham!
it-
One and then wham!
If
the
it's
other
going
shoulder.
through the magic bubble, does that help?
Yes, it absolutely will.
Okay.
I think Haki's the only one inside the bubble of you 3.
Oh.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
10, baby.
7. I would use. I don't know. Not. What would I use? Quick thinking.
Quick thinking? Sure, why not?
9.
Okay, 9. What was yours, Haki?
Mine's because I have +1 to defy danger. Mine's
Because it's
10,
your spidey
natural
senses.
10.
Nice.
Anyway.
So you avoid it completely.
Yeah.
You take 2d6, take the lower of the 2d6.
I
what
got
did you
an
roll?
11.
Okay, and you avoid it as well.
Sweet. 3.
And this Durgar caster goes down. So now it's just the Earth Elemental remaining.
All right.
Does that affect him at all?
The Earth Elemental is affected in that the Earth Elemental starts wildly pounding the ceiling above him even more wildly now, and doesn't seem like it just loses all sense of control now.
Well, maybe a magic
It looks
missile.
worse, actually, is probably the better way to describe that.
I got that.
Maybe a magic
We made
missile will
things worse.
help it along the way. 3, 5, 6, 7. So
Yeah, so you hit it with magic missile as a boulder falls on top of you.
Awesome.
Cool.
So that's, let's see, 2, 4, 8.
Okay,
And then
and
you use that D4.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, that extra damage. 8 damage, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Force damage.
Yeah, that ignoring armor damage. That's super important. Okay, roll me a d8 and take that damage from the boulder falling onto you. You kind of shrug off some of it,
Ow.
ignoring armor.
4 damage.
I always say that to you, like it matters.
Well, if I level up, it will matter.
Okay, I will keep telling you ignoring armor. And the elemental collapses.
I'm like, haha!
Really?
I'm like
Yeah.
so proud of myself I don't see it, and I'm like, oh!
Man,
We had some good rolls.
Yeah, you did.
Eric consistently plays the strongest character. in
Right.
every-
I was gonna be a healer, and then he was like, somebody's got to be a mage.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
and what's his name? Steven Aodan. He's like, well, I kind of want to play. What did he say? A bard or a cleric, I think he said. And I was like, yeah, bard's great. Cleric is fine. Cleric's a little different. And once I told him like how clerics work in Dark Sun, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna play a cleric. I was like, yeah, I get that, because clerics in Dark Sun are a lot more fun than being just like religious goodies like,
Yeah.
in most
Yeah.
settings. But yeah, so you, as you look around the room, now that you've kind of got a better chance to gain your bearings, you actually see those purple orbs that you saw kind of lining up the streets. You see more of these purple orbs just circling this whole room, and they seem to somehow be related to this, this ritual or the earth elemental or something like that.
Ow.
You could just grab one again instead
Yeah,
of inspecting them.
Very, very tempted to. I mean, I definitely got a shock. Is there?
Can I use like my
discern?
psionics to
Yeah, I wanted to know if they're psionic related.
to inspect it?
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
like a thing for inspecting something.
You can spout lore about it.
Yeah, you can spout lore. You can discern realities.
I'm gonna spout lore.
These are ancient death orbs. Anyone who touches them dies 7 days later.
I mean, that's kind of par for the course how you guys use spout lore. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and spout lore. Sweet. 10.
Okay, what do these things do?
It's interesting. You guys were talking last time about that stuff you drank that I wasn't around for, and how it affected you. I feel like these orbs, from my brief stint of grabbing one and crushing it with my bare hands, have some kind of psionic latent abilities in them.
Or maybe an arcane version of the psionic water we drank, right?
Like a
Like the way that psionic water amplified psionic powers, these amplify arcane powers.
Yeah, they do something with this is me spouting as much lore as I possibly can.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're psionic.
Oh, are they?
I mean, there is fine line between the two schools. It's all relatively same.
Yeah, so you think that you crushing enough of these, or using them, either crushing or channeling them somehow towards some central focus, could definitely produce some sort of either arcane or psionic either resurgence or just birthing of an ability.
I'm gonna crush some more
I
orbs.
Yenin will stop you and go, "Hey, I think we can do this without the crushing."
All right, I'm just saying. Last time I crushed one pretty easily.
Yes.
Yeah,
Focus them, probably.
and you Sizzlack was also acting very strangely for about a half an hour after that. So
I felt great.
you did feel great.
I felt fantastic.
You kept trying.
You actually feel kind of shitty now.
Oh, I do not feel good.
You
I'm
think
in a
if
very
you grab,
dark place all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
you feel like
I
if
feel
you
like I
grabbed
really
another
need
orb,
another orb.
yeah, you think if you grabbed and crushed another orb, you would feel better again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should destroy them without touching them with our hands.
I could shoot some of them.
Whoa. Let's not just get
Yeah.
hasty here, fellas.
Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean you start smashing.
No, I do understand it though. These were used to almost bring down tier.
These are focuses. It's
Yeah. What are we gonna have them all the time? We're gonna keep track of every single one.
No.
of them? There's so many all over the
I'd like
place.
to crush some more so that I've got a little more of my purple orb
how about-
powder.
How about I can set up ritual that funnels energy into you and you don't have to crush.
Look, if it makes me feel like I felt earlier, I'm all about it. But right now, I'm nursing a real strong headache, and I need to do something quickly.
You think, unfortunately, because you don't know how these work, at least not as well as the caster that was using them before, if you did that, you would drain these orbs of all their power, and they would no longer function after using them in that way.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be focuses so much as they'd be components for whatever you're trying to do.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Yeah. This is fine. Maybe just crush one to even you out, and then
So Sizzlike grabs one and crushes it to even himself out before the ritual.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Ooh. All right. I feel good again.
All right. Roll me a 2d6 plus intelligence.
Who, me or you?
Eric, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yenin, as he does the ritual.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's the total?
Well,
oh, double
plus-
sixes?
Yeah.
Double sixes, man.
Wow. Okay, so this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a higher level one. Okay, roll me a d100, Justin.
10.
10.
It's actually
plus-
a 1.
That's
One.
1 plus and roll it again. So that would be 11.
11.
Okay, 11.
I like 11.
Okay. That's interesting. Vamp for a second for me, guys.
This is.
I would like to suck your blood.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
you
what
got it.
vamping is.
Get it, guys?
No, no, yeah.
I'm
We're-
vamping all
no,
over
we
the
got- yeah, yeah,
place.
Try the soup.
I'm gonna
Is
go
there a
see
problem with
Civil
the
War
soup?
today.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Super pumped.
I can't wait to
So
No spoilers. It's good.
yeah,
It's,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I only heard one
yeah.
person that was like, it was awful. And I was like, I feel like you're the
It's-
only person I
Yeah,
heard say
somebody
that.
somebody talked and said that they liked one character, and that was all that they liked about the movie. And I was like, no. Like I went and saw it.
No.
I went and saw it. We live in Highland Park, and we've got a movie theater right across from our place, which is awesome. So I thought, 10:45 on Friday morning will be a great time to go see a movie by myself, most
Yeah,
likely.
nobody will be there.
Nobody will be there, especially not all the kids that live in my neighborhood that apparently don't go to school. What? None of them are ever in school, ever.
Ever.
See,
Well, but it's Friday.
I'd be
No,
opposite.
they're never in. I
okay.
went to see. What did I go
Wait,
see
but they were
before
like
that?
children. They were like little kids.
No. Somewhere there was a baby in the audience in
Yeah.
their stroller, which is
Yeah.
always great.
Yeah.
There was one kid who was like, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5, that was with their dad in front. And decided that the aisle was a good place to run up and down for a while, and then they'd come around and like stare at me. And then finally, they ended up just starting to walk up and down the entire aisle of the movie theater with the dad kind of chasing them. And I was like, all right, it's okay. This movie is, and that's how good this movie is. That's what I'm saying. This movie was so good that I was able,
That it was
versus when I went and saw B versus S in
Yeah.
the same movie theater with kids, and I wanted to just strangle somebody and kill somebody.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was like I was
It's a
like
family movie.
I was like,
theater.
oh, it's out. I went Thursday night at like 7:30. I was like, it's gonna be sold out. It wasn't, and I showed up like 45 minutes early, and I was the only one in the theater till like the 15 minutes before the showing started. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Marvel the full day thing at AMC
For the Avengers?
For the Avengers,
Yeah.
was it the first? One?
I did
was
it
like
for
the
the
first 6 movies. or
Yeah, I
whatever?
did it for the
Yeah.
first Avengers. Yeah,
And it was
14 hours.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was so great. Like you went in and you got like this cool lanyard, and then you sat there and you
you got special 3D glasses like mine were the Hulk.
yeah, I got Iron Man, and then they would have like little breaks in between each movie, so you can go get refills on your stuff. And then Agent Coulson would come through and give debriefings before each movie.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
About the characters, like, and we're grabbing somebody else for the Avengers. You might know about this person, and then
Was
they
it
would
the
do-
actual guy who played
Yeah, it was.
Coulson?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
actual.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And the best was he had like right before the Avengers, he's like, "Are you ready? I don't think you're ready." And then like they screwed up our showing. Like the 3D was wrong, so it took them. We had to keep. They kept trying restarting it for like
So he
45
kept
minutes.
saying, "Are you ready?
Yeah,
I
are you
don't think
ready?
You're ready.
Yeah.
Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. Now you're ready."
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of getting yourself ready, so Sizzlack, you actually gain a psionic ability called Adrenaline Control.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
I love that has to do with these purple orbs that are making me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually pretty sweet. I didn't think about that.
It's a lot. Whenever Sean randomly picks something and gives it to us, it's usually there's a lot of serendipity in it.
Yeah, it's 100% better than anything that I could creatively come up with on my own. Like, it's always a bad idea to trust your own instincts. Like, don't do that. So yeah, you can control the production and release of adrenaline in your system, so you can give yourself temporary physical boosts on demand. So what you can do is give yourself +1 forward on any strength, dex, or con roll. But if you do that, then you're going to take a debility to that score until you rest.
Okay,
So the debility are those little boxes that you can check, and that
weak,
basically,
shaky, sick, stunned, confused, or scared.
yeah, and what that does is,
Scarred.
that essentially gives you -1 ongoing. So it's a +1 on one roll, but then a -1 ongoing afterwards. So, but you can do that on demand, like the moment you need it. You can just pump up your adrenaline to give yourself that +1.
Okay.
So the moral is drugs are bad.
I don't see that at all.
Well, that
Drugs are
should be the
bad.
moral.
Should be.
The short
This
term.
is like we're talking
Yeah,
about.
that is such a good drug metaphor. The short term is great, but the long term benefit not so good.
I love it.
That is like the perfect power for him to get
It
from
really
these
is.
orbs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah,
It's so great.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah, it's second edition has like some of the coolest old like abilities and stuff. It doesn't. I mean, I had to kind of retrofit the statistics behind it because it's like give yourself a 1d6 and then you lose this and this later or whatever. But it's always easy to reskin stuff for Dungeon World because Dungeon World is so simple. Yeah. So good job, guys. You took out the Earth Elemental and the Caster. The Forge is still available for you to use before you leave if you like. You can turn that steel into bullets.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, you're only going to be able to. I'm going to have you write down a limited number of.
Yeah, I
those
was going to
bullets
say I'm
'cause
only
you're
going to be
not
able to
gonna
use
make, very
so many of them. I figured.
Yeah, you'll be able to make 6.
Okay.
So write down 6 steel bullets from the steel full plate that you're actually able to forge.
This is nice though.
And those ignore all armor.
We have forge,
dope.
so we mine it, we turn it into ingots and ship it up already pre-smelted.
Yeah.
Yep. Whoever pre-smelt it, pre-dealt it.
Hi.
And then if I'm going to use those, I
was a real
assume that
bad joke.
I have to say I'm using them before I roll.
I don't do good jokes.
I'm still very upset
my
that we
thing.
don't have that spit take on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, did we
from-
did, oh yeah, that's
from
true.
last
we didn't get
week.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I missed it.
I think I
Yeah,
actually,
there was a spit take.
It was a genuine spit
amazing.
take. I'm not one to spit take. Like I can control myself.
What
but
was
that
the?
It wasn't even that funny. It was
Yeah.
just
It was. What
It was just the
about?
moment.
Max said something.
it was just the perfect moment, and I had been up. I got up pretty
Yeah.
early
Yeah,
for
yeah.
for
True.
this for our 26-hour stream, which is nothing compared to Dom's actual 26 hours
Yeah.
of going through the whole
Doing God's work.
damn
Dom.
thing. Yeah, doing.
Doing
Yeah, I can tell actually.
Dom has his eyes closed right now.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet that Dom has learned how to sleep with his eyes open. Like, you know, you look at Dom and he actually even nods too, like when you're talking to him, and then you're like, oh no, he's asleep right now, and has been for this entire conversation.
No, it's like sleepwalking. He's just walking around. He's just, I'm gonna roll the dice.
I'll tell you, he's doing a really. It's impressive that he can handle a multi-camera
It is.
setup
Very good,
completely
yeah.
asleep.
It's like live cutting and
That's some
everything.
talent.
Yeah,
while I'm
yeah,
only
it's
sleeping.
really neat.
Moderating chat.
Yeah.
How are they?
Yeah, how are our garbage people today?
Have they thrown anything?
They're quiet.
Yeah,
Thank
quiet
you for
today.
calling them garbage people.
Oh, did they ask for a garbage people call out? Oh, well, hey
There's
to
actually now an XP reward. 2,000 XP. Then you can. Otherwise, don't give them anything.
They have to
earn
pay
that.
to be called garbage people
Yes.
now?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I just want to say to everyone in chat, I am looking forward to being able to refer to you as what you are, and you know what you are, but you want to hear it from my mouth. You want me to use my mouth to tell you what you are. These are creepy,
This went
disgusting
somewhere
people on the
different.
internet.
Yes. This has gone someplace
This has gotten
much darker than I
Vaguely
Yeah.
sexual.
I
It's
don't
not even
think
vaguely
yeah, I was gonna say,
sexual.
I don't
It's
think
like
it's vague at all.
completely
I don't
sexual.
understand what vague means to you.
Real quick, Justin, why are you dressed up?
Because I am going to an event after this. We're doing a photography event for a lupus fundraiser. Lupus fundraiser.
I think that's what they say when you get lupus. Like, man, I got lupus.
I got lupus.
When you don't get it, you I got lupus.
But it is a black tie affair. So I'm wearing my sweet Space Invader cufflinks and my Space Invader tie.
Loot crate.
So yeah, the cufflinks are actually from a homeless person that I got at GDC one year.
Oh, wow.
It's a fun story.
Tell the story.
Okay, well, I was outside and talking to this young man who's a drifter of sorts. Had his backpack and everything, and we were talking, and I was like, he's like, yeah, I'm just, kind of traveling and whatever, and we had a nice conversation. And then he was like, oh, by the way, you seem to know about this stuff that's going on. And I was like, yeah, the gaming convention? Yes, I do know a thing or two.
This is my
because I'm
favorite thing right
here.
now.
And he was like, well, I've got this box, and he opens up this box with these two cufflinks. I'm like, oh, those are amazing. And he's like, would you buy them off me? And I was like, if I had any cash, I would absolutely buy those off you. I don't carry cash anymore.
Yeah.
And
No one
and he
does.
was like, okay. So we continued talking, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna head back inside. And he's like, well, I just wanted to say thanks for the conversation. And he's like, you know what? Hey, will you just take these? And I was like, no, I can't just take those. And he's like, honestly, man, it seems like you'll get much more use out of them than I will.
I'm sure it was
and
true.
He was like, and just the conversation alone was great. So thank you. And I was like, well, no, thank you. And so I got these sweet cufflinks.
Strangers
That somebody
of the night.
clearly dropped, and he picked
Yeah,
up.
exactly. It's not like, yeah, he's like, these
He
are the.
found them.
Yeah.
Yes.
They fell off a truck.
Yeah. Frankie knows where he got the cufflinks.
He's like, listen,
Yeah.
I murdered someone for these.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
This-
More power.
The last
to-
person I tried to talk to wouldn't talk back,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I murdered them.
He was
Murder.
he was dressed as a
I
Klingon.
really appreciate
Right.
you talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of murdering you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you these cufflinks. And they're like,
A dead man's cufflinks.
Wasn't there like a? Oh, it was Friday the 13th. There was that TV show,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Friday the 13th TV show.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I kill somebody, if I put blood on these cufflinks, they actually do something, like some kind of. Did you ever watch this show?
No.
It was great. It was like a.
It was
a mystery show.
yeah, it was a mystery show about like haunted objects that like get sold off. So like it's people going around trying to collect like creepy dolls that like have
Monkey
ghosts.
Paw or stuff like that.
But it was like a British show, and they brought it over here. They decided to call it Friday the 13th so that it would pick up, so people would be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, I like that movie. I'm gonna
Yeah.
see the TV show." It had nothing
Nothing
to
to
do.
do with Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just the idea of like it being a spooky time.
Spooky.
And so they would take like these objects and they would figure out what would make, because they didn't know how they worked, a lot of them, and then they would figure out how they worked and try and stop them from.
It's
doing
like
what they
Warehouse
did.
13, but
Yeah.
less fun.
So you guys find your way out of the spooky underground Durgar city.
I mean, there are a lot of dead people here.
It's not spooky so much as grisly. So you bloody. You make your way out of the city after spending a few hours resting. So you're safe down below. You find you use the barracks nearby to rest, so you can go back up to full hit points and get your hit points back. Or you can rest and gain spells back as well. I don't think you lost any, but they're there.
I did, but
Oh, good. You
lost
lost the Speak
Fireball.
with Dead.
Yeah.
And Fireball. So you make your way back to your manor, and you communicate to the mine manager / previous owner, and let him know that the people can go back down deeper into the mines now. It should be safe for them to work. They shouldn't have to worry anymore about these Durgar coming up and murdering them to use as components for a spell.
Could I, on the way out, could I have hacked off one of the heads of the?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I bring that back up with me and I go, "Don't worry, it's all taken care of." I just drop it in the hands of the main guy.
He looks he is terrified. He's like, he drops the head. He's like, I don't need this. I do not need
No
this.
one
That's
needs
all right.
it.
Don't worry. In fact, here I just take it and I put a spike on it and I stick it outside the iron mine. I'm like, that's to ward off other evil.
Okay.
I mean, did we remember to
I
pick
can-
up
I
what's
can-
his
I'm carrying
name?
Frank.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
Frank.
You got Frankie over your
Yeah.
shoulder.
I take him aside and I'm like, listen, there is forge down there. So if we are bringing it back up here and then smelting it here, we are wasting time and money. We should be smelting in there and then shipping it up. It's easier to carry. Also, plenty of buildings. I'm thinking like maybe we can have shelter for those workers who wish to take shelter, have breaks. We have a facility now that we can take advantage of.
Yeah, I say we
That's
we
a
give our workers room and board.
Turning more and more.
completely John Wayne. The manager kind of thinks about it for a minute. He's like, yeah, I guess that does make sense. I mean, it's just more efficient. That's definitely the way to go. We'll definitely make more money that way. So
That way we can still give the merchants their cut, and we can give the rest of it to the city.
I'm having so much trouble taking you seriously. Yeah, that's also true. That's also true.
Why is
That's
he
also
talk?
true.
Why does he talk so funny all the time?
Because I'm the law now here in Tyr. You got a problem with it?
I'm the sorcerer king here in Tyr.
Well, only for about
That's only
3
half of
more
it.
checks.
That's only about half a ring.
I'm the person in charge, so.
All of this is unconfirmed.
But I think we all know what's true. All of these things.
Listen, I said, as your new sorcerer
guns.
king, there is no more slavery, and there is no more slavery. So who has done the most for city?
Well, I'm the one who's gonna make sure it stays that way.
I'm gonna go get some bug nectar.
Yeah. So as you guys
I'm
head
coming
back to
down
your
on you.
Yeah, I need
as
a
you guys
little
head
pick
back
me up.
as you head back to the manor, you actually notice some of the outlying like guest houses have been converted now, like they were for people to live in or whatever. But the number of people working the mines is lower than it was before. So a lot of those places just weren't people evacuated and they were just kind of empty. So very quickly people came in and took them over. So there's actually now essentially a makeshift inn in one of the guest houses that you can go to. There's already a bartender set up inside. It's kind of, like the bar is still being assembled.
Which
but,
bug did we name this inn after?
this one is going to be named...
Can we call it the Merciful Mechalot?
The Merciful Mechalot. Yeah, sure, that's what it's called.
Perfect.
Can I? Yenen's gonna head over there and ask to see the owner of this establishment.
The owner is a...
A beautiful woman named Kitty.
That is not going to be... yeah, the owner is...
Kitty. I forgot about Kitty.
I have somebody that I want this to be, actually. This is me, this is an important person table because they have a name.
Write this down.
Yeah, write it down. This is the most metagamey thing ever. Okay, so the owner of this
The
tavern
merciful
is
Mechalot.
Ulrun. Ulruun.
U-R-L.
A mule. So Ulrun raises her hand to you and says, "Hello. It's good to see our partial owners."
Ulrun, so I'm enjoying what you're doing here. I wonder,
We'll be sending profits your way. Don't worry.
this is okay. I wonder, is it possible you set up some sort of, I don't ask you to move, but set up watering hole in the mines. We have facility for you to maybe set up tavern down in mines, sell in mines to workers who maybe live in mines.
A second
say-
one, though,
could you say
right?
in
You're not
mines
saying
again?
get rid of.
No,
ours.
this is good.
You want us you want us to franchise?
Yes.
She's like, oh, absolutely, of course, yes. If there's, you've built housing inside of the mines.
Yeah,
There is
yes,
housing
we
in the
built
mine.
those.
We didn't build it.
Yes, we built lots of housing down
You shut
there.
up. You shut up, you tiny little person.
We didn't.
All of a sudden, like things got very weird. Like he's getting very authoritarian. Am I the only one?
No,
No,
you're
we've
right.
all noticed that.
Once the
Okay.
ring is gone, we'll put him back in his
We'll
place.
discuss it.
Okay.
3 more charges.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm
Get rid of
just
the
saying when I
Horcrux.
put on this ring that the soul of the Sorcerer King lives on within me and slowly corrupts me.
It's a simple thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the only person on the team who is a ticking time bomb.
Right. Good. Yeah, that's true.
We know fully well
With-
that
within
when he
within-
defiles a certain
Yeah.
amount of times, he will turn.
Yeah,
evil.
but
Yeah,
Sean
the problem
said-
is the fuse is an indeterminate length.
Yeah, Sean said it was more than 2, and I've defiled 3 times.
Yeah.
He is a living game of Don't Wake Daddy.
Yeah.
Like a lot scarier.
Yeah. Crocodile dentist. Pick your 90s game.
Yeah.
you know.
Hungry hippo.
Yes.
If you-
I don't think that game works actually in this
No,
scenario.
it does. The marbles are defiling, and he's just like gobbling up all the vegetation.
Okay.
I think we.
I mean, it's a long walk. I'll admit.
Pants in the pants.
yeah.
Operation.
Hot
Sure.
potato.
Simon.
Yeah.
Who sunk my battleship?
Exactly.
These are all excellent questions.
Now we're just naming games.
Oh yeah, I was done a long time ago.
Yeah. I think we
Rude.
should.
I was wondering. I had a very dear friend of mine, Steve, pass on recently.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right.
But people die.
They do. I would, however, like to dedicate a portion of this tavern to minstrels to practice their beautiful songs about our heroic deeds.
I'll build them a stage.
Excellent. Thank you.
We'll call it the Steve stage.
I love it. Now,
It
Canker.
rolls off the tongue very well, doesn't
Yes.
it? So yeah, she throws down several tankards and says, "By the way, I almost forgot to tell you. One of my contacts with the Alliance in the city wanted to speak with you.
Well, send them over.
I'll have my messenger go back and tell them to send a representative."
Also, do you know if there is a gathering of like merchants or something, some sort of head person we can talk to? Because I'm serious, we should set up a sort of small city within the mines. That way our workers can live there and not feel like they have to leave their
Well,
job.
Frankie knows people.
Yes.
Frankie has a very, very lucrative group of friends who understand business practices.
I don't like the way you say these things.
I'll get Frankie on this.
Most of Frankie's friends would actually say that they're involved in business.
I'll talk to Frankie once he wakes up. I'm gonna pour some kank juice down Frankie's throat.
Yeah, Frankie.
Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie. After a couple of hours more rest, eventually comes to. Also,
Now drunk at this point from.
yeah, wakes up drunk.
Yeah.
Which is a very strange thing considering he didn't go to bed drunk.
Frankie.
And also, your a member of the Alliance comes by, and you actually recognize them from before. Before they were unnamed, and now they aren't. Tick, TYK. He was the one that he was the middleman of the middleman that sent you off on to get the black orb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tick waves hello to you and says, "Hello, Tick again. It's good to see you. We have some problems in the city. It's nothing to worry about. We just wanted to get your opinions and your thoughts."
Well, pull up a chair, Tick, and let's talk about these problems.
Absolutely. Your voice sounds different.
Well, when you've seen as many things as I have, it changes a man.
Oh, that's true. I can tell from your voice. It's very sad.
Have some kank juice.
Absolutely. I need it. It's been a trying couple of days.
You can tell. You look tired.
Thanks. He drinks from the
Always
bowl
the
of
best thing you could say to anybody.
Yeah.
Always.
You look tired.
tired.
You look absolutely awful.
Have,
It's like the nicest way to say you look awful to
Right.
anybody.
Yeah.
have
You
some.
look
You,
tired.
you look like hot garbage. Have some booze.
That'll make it better.
Yeah, he is thankful for the booze at least. But after taking half a tankard of bug gland juice, he kind of calms down and looks very somber and says, "We're not doing as well as we thought we would do." I don't understand what the problem is, but a lot of the different cells haven't been able to agree on who the leader should be, and all of the cells are disagreeing on who should be in charge. We all have our own representative for our own area, but every time we get the whole group together, someone says, "Well, we need one person to be in charge, for this to get moving. Otherwise, it just devolves into arguing." And it doesn't seem like none of the cells are agreeing. And as near as any of us can tell, there is not a leader or was not a leader to the Veiled Alliance. We can't find anybody who was the leader of. There was no person. I don't know what's going on, and it doesn't seem like anybody else does either.
Well, Tick, I think it's safe to say that as the people who helped the Veiled Alliance and pretty much saved this city, we would be honored to take your request right now and be your leader.
I mean, if you could be a council, all I ask is that you come in and speak with the council of the Alliance and I think you'll be able to convince them that you should be in charge. At least that way, they can keep their power of what they're doing, but they'll have someone to answer to. There needs to be some sort of person in charge. Otherwise, this just is not working. And that's just the first of our problems. Apparently there's now raiding parties that are starting to attack the city because we haven't yet been able to organize a town guard or a militia.
You haven't set up defenses?
We didn't plan for that. We just didn't have a plan.
It is as you said. They have no plan for city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, things are better than they were before, though. Like, you have to admit that.
Yeah, we're making lots of money in
I
our
feel
money.
great.
Well, I'm going to take this time and deputize every single one of us. And we are now law and order here in Tyr.
Excellent.
That's
We will...
fantastic, because there are some people who I've been meaning to kill, and now I can do legally.
No killing.
This is joke. This is joke, I say.
Is it?
That's one of those things where you say it and then you gauge their reaction, oh no, that's a joke. Yeah, totally a joke. Didn't mean it. Just wait. Okay, yeah, no, for sure.
I'll
joke.
say this. Coming from the long lineage that I have, I come from a lineage of leaders, so I would be more than happy to speak to this council.
I mean, new Sorcerer King not looking so bad now, is it?
We'll go and we'll talk with the council. We'll get them to
I appreciate it.
play nice with each other.
I'll speak with them and tell them that we'll have a meeting tomorrow evening and that we'll have a special guest beginning the proceedings.
Along the line of dealing with these raiding parties, have you done any intelligence to find out if they are separate, if they are part of a larger group?
Well, they're not from around Tyr. They're very clear.
They're not from around Tyr.
They're not from around Tyr.
They're not from around here.
Excellent.
That's the
You're
important
not
thing.
from around here, are you?
They're from around somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not Tyr.
Not Tyr at all.
Well, are they
Could be
are
far
they
fr- it could
are
be
they
far
here
from
or are they
Tyr.
not
From
here?
Tyr?
Far from Tyr.
Well, are they here or are they not here? I don't understand what this is.
No, they're not here.
They're not Tyr, but
Well,
they're
if they're not-
definitely here.
But you said they're not here, and then he says
No,
they're
they're
here.
not Tyr. That's what we just
Yes,
said.
they're
but
not
they're
Tyr.
definitely
They're in
here.
town.
Well, they're not Tyr now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they've
out.
never been Tyr, but they're
No,
definitely
they're out
here.
of Tyr.
But if they've
Well, they
never
were
been
here
here, why are
before.
they a threat?
Who is on second?
Well, they're out of Tyr, but they're coming back.
Ember again
Back in Tyr.
takes her guns out.
Your language is confusing sometimes.
Well, anyways.
Their dress appears. They just clearly aren't from around Tyr. It's just very clear that they're not locals.
Now, don't start that again.
They're not locals. But they do appear to be organized. They're not your standard mercenary. They seem
That's what I'm getting at.
militarily organized.
I would like to send a scout or two to follow one of these raiding parties and see where they end up.
Frankie's up.
Here's what
Frankie's
we'll
gonna
do.
stay here.
We'll set up our meeting with the Veiled Alliance or the
not so veiled.
Not so
alliance.
veiled alliance.
They call themselves the Alliance now.
All right,
makes
well, we'll
sense.
go and have our meeting with the Alliance. Meanwhile, we send a scout out, not to engage, just to follow. Once we've settled everything with the bigwigs, well, we'll set out, and we'll take care of the raiding parties.
That makes sense.
Bring the law back to Tyr.
We're going to bring the law back to Tyr.
Back to Tyr. Or
Back
to
Tyr.
here? Back to here.
Back
Back to
Tyr.
here.
Back to here.
So, you send more groups of merchants and what have you. Frankie finds people that they're business people to go down into the mines and
Maybe
to
not
set up shops. and-
Savory, but
yeah, they're a little unsavory, but you know.
It's
And Frankie maybe skims a small
Oh,
percentage
yeah.
for
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a great hookup. So all of his associates are happy for the
he's not
opportunity.
being greedy. He's just
And the thing is, most of his
protection
Yeah.
of the people in the mines.
right, and his associates don't mind the extra skimming that Frankie does because somehow his associates have large margins on their product. So they, for whatever reason, they've been able to cut costs very low on their product. So
Excellent.
it doesn't seem to bother them either. It's a
Perfect.
good setup for everybody involved. No, it's a win-win-win. Any part of that chain which might be a lose, you don't see. So, and the evening goes by very well. You've got a nice big party at the, what was it, the Merciful Mechalot?
Yeah.
Merciful Mechalot.
Lots of bug juice.
Lots of bug juice for the night. You've got, I mean, they actually have like a whole bunch of kanks behind this building, just milking these bugs for juice.
At some point, I
It's
get
like
a little
hate
drowsy.
that
At some point,
visual.
I get a little drowsy, and I just use my psionic ability. I'm just like, all right,
It's that easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
you disappear.
You're just like weak and shaky and sick and stunned and
You're
confused
tired.
and scarred.
You're like, man, I am so tired. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. And you come out. And you're like, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Take juice for everyone. One round on me. I said one.
just like a little bit of like
He's
like
no,
purple.
his nose is bleeding a little bit.
Yep.
And it's purple blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Purple. Yep. Purple blood. It's somehow. But the thing is, he just seems tireless, just absolutely ceaseless. Eventually, you sleep, with the exception of, I mean, not much sleep for Sislak. You wake up in the morning, take care of some errands, kind of check over this new city that essentially you've built underground. It's more like a small town, but you've got a small town underground. Everything seems pretty good. Frankie's even recruited a few people to keep order in the area, so there's actually kind of some guards that make sure things don't get too out of control.
We named this place Under Tier.
Under tier.
Where is it?
That makes sense.
Under
Under
tier.
tier.
But where? Where is it?
That's
though?
the new name of the mine, you mean?
The small city. Underneath.
Under tier.
Under tier.
That's
Under
so
tier.
funny.
Yeah.
How do I
Ember's not a part
get
of this
there?
naming.
Under where?
Where is under tier?
Tier.
It's under.
It's under tier.
It's
Yeah,
ti-
under tier is under here.
Yeah.
Under there.
Yeah, under tier.
Yeah, under there.
Under
Under
where?
tier. But it's not. Wait, but it's called under tier, not. Wait, is it under there?
No, under tier.
Under their tier.
Yeah, no, it's under tier.
Are you tier? Are you in tier? Are you? This is
Where-
tier.
what did I
hold
enter?
on. If you're
Did
looking
I
for,
enter something?
Okay, hold on. If you're looking for directions, where are you coming from? Are you coming from tier?
Well, obviously.
Okay, if you're looking to go to under tier, you have to start in tier and you just go from tier to there. It's so
Under.
simple.
Excellent. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I've got a headache.
The headache goes away pretty quickly, actually, with a combination of you kind of focusing your adrenaline and drinking more bug juice.
Yes.
Goes away very quickly.
We're just gonna have to bring like the tankards and flasks with us wherever we go now.
Oh wait, are you guys not doing that already?
Just like, oh, no.
I have 3
Wine
flasks
skins
tank juice.
of.
Yeah, you guys have always been like, wow, Sislak is always really prepared with like extra water skins.
He keeps
Like,
very
No,
hydrated.
he has the same amount of water you guys have, just lots of extra bug juice.
I also have just like psionic water. We're also just walking around with psionic water.
Yeah, you just take sips of it every once in a while. It's weird because you just don't seem to be hydrated, but you're a lot sharper than everybody else. So yeah, in the evening you go into the actual city of Tyr, since your manor is kind of on the outskirts of town, and you head into Tyr for this meeting. There's a lot of Veiled Alliance there. They're all wearing purple cloaks, and there's 10 people sitting at a long table in front of a crowd of people, and there's a few seats set aside for you as well. In this,
long
it's a
table
big
has
meeting hall,
short
basically.
skirt around it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, call this meeting to order.
Oh, I thought you were knocking to get in. I was going to say, we're already
No,
in here.
sitting down.
And where?
Yeah, the other 10 like council members or whatever look towards Hockey.
Word around town is that you boys don't know how to play nice with each other.
A few of the women look towards Hockey.
Ladies.
That's not the look they gave me.
Like, is Kitty here?
She's not.
Yeah.
Now listen, I don't mean
Kitty's in
to.
the crowd.
I don't mean to be gender specific. When I say boys, understand I mean all of you.
Oh, okay.
I
All
mean,
of them seem placated by that. They're like, oh, it was just a microaggression then.
It was a microaggression.
Okay, good.
I'm
Hey,
just mansplaining.
Do
here.
that man. I was just about to say. I was going to go. Do that thing you were telling me about the other day, the mansplaining.
Yeah,
I like that.
mansplaining.
I think he already started that.
Excellent.
Let me
I don't
get it.
quite get it yet.
Let me get a few things straight.
Listen longer.
Now, before we came to town, there was a lot of slavery going on.
This accent.
Before we came to town, you were all under the heel of a great mighty king sorcerer. Before we came to town, none of you had any idea what was going on. And now we're here, and all of that's over.
yes. You want a leader. Well, we said we would kill Sorcerer King, and we did that. Then we said we would retake mine. We did that. Mine is now more profitable than ever had been. So we do what we set out to do, which is what good leaders do.
That's right.
Absolutely. And, I mean, just look at us. We're obviously leadership quality. So, since you have requested some assistance in this matter, we have come to offer you that assistance by taking the burden of this leadership of this great city.
Now listen, we're not a bunch of despots. We're not coming in here telling you what's going to go and how you're all going to be. What we're saying is you make the decisions and we got the final say. You run your city, but the buck stops here.
The 10 oh boy, the 10 council people kind of look amongst each other, and none of them actually look like they're convinced by what any of you have said. Some of them look like they outright disagree with what you're saying. Eventually, one of them kind of stands up and says, "Thank you." Male half-elf stands up and says, "Thank you so much for your offer. I'm not sure if it makes sense. I mean, we appreciate your service and everything that you've done, but I think, to me, I think we're good here. I think we've got all the help. We release you from your service."
I'm going to do words of power.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, we don't have a bond anymore.
Oh, does anybody have a bond with me?
I do.
Hey, what's your bond?
You have much to teach me about the way of the gun, whether you know it or not.
Sweet. You
All
wanna-
right.
So-
give him an aid.
So the modifier to this is just the number of bonds you have
Oh,
with
okay.
Sislak.
Just one.
Good enough, though.
Yeah.
Sweet, so I get a +1. All right, let's go. 6. So I get the 7, 8. All right, well, you get to choose.
The other, so the other, all 10 of them. What do you say?
I say, look, I understand your hesitation, but it seems to me that this bickering and infighting amongst yourselves is doing nothing but hurting this great city of Tyr. Now, I know I am not one of your people originally, but I have come from far away in great lands, and I have seen much, much happen. And I understand that coming together is the only way we can survive in this world. Hakuna Matata.
All 10 of the counselors look at each other and they're like, "Are those words?" What does
It's
that
a wonderful phrase.
mean? Okay.
Hakuna Matata.
What does it mean?
He just takes out the Lorax.
Ain't no passing phrase. It means no worries for the rest of your days.
Wow, that actually sounds. That's a really nice
It's-
phrase.
It's our problem-free philosophy.
Hakuna Matata.
It's such an amount of. That's amazing to communicate so many ideas with such a small phrase.
No,
It's very interesting.
no one is saying you will not run the city. What we're saying is you each have sections. You are elected or whatever in your section.
I think for someone to lead, it would have to be one of our own. It would need to be
I am inducted in Veiled Alliance.
the as you say that the half elf is like shit.
Well, how about this?
We as soon as you say that, actually the half elf, you can tell, just stops dead in his tracks, and you actually see a bunch of murmuring out in the audience as well. Like, people are actually very enamored with the idea now of you taking over. And he's like, well, but my concern, of course, is we don't want a new sorcerer king. You know, we don't need that. So, it seems to me that you would, I have concerns that you would want to be the next sorcerer king, and that worries me a lot.
I don't particularly want this, which is why I think I'm be perfect for it, because I don't want to be Sorcerer King, sit in castle, and lord over people. I just want to go about my business for the most part.
Yeah, you see people in the crowd like start to really warming to the idea of Yenin in charge. They're like, yeah, somebody who doesn't want to be in charge is the best leader.
Now, hold on a second.
I don't know about this.
So hold your horses, everybody. I don't know what those are, but hold them if you've got them.
Hold your ATAX.
Yeah, hold your ATAX, everyone.
Which, by the
Get
way,
your
I'm
mechalots under
actually
control.
sitting on an ATAX.
Yep.
Because that's how I came in.
Yep.
Now, here's what I
Middle
gotta
of the
say.
How
meeting
big
hall.
is this
Yeah.
meeting hall?
It's big enough for an ATAX.
You
for
need
sure.
law and order in Tyr. Well, you'll make us, I don't know, marshals of sorts. We'll be in control of the law and order in Tyr. We'll keep the peace.
I feel like I will be the head, and you could be my hand.
Listen,
The hand of...
we can figure out our own
I'll be the
machinations on
brain.
the own. My point being, we keep the law, and in the meantime, you all need to elect yourselves a leader.
One of the other members of the council actually, stands up and says, "Can I get someone to second Yenin as our new leader?"
I second.
Three other people on the council all stand up and say, "Yenin."
All those in favor.
Everybody on the everybody in the crowd, you hear a bunch of yelling from the crowd in support of Yenin as the new leader, and like 7 people on the council all say Yenin. There's like 4 that are super excited, 3 that are like, yeah, it makes sense, and 3 that are steadfastly opposed. They're like, this is not gonna end well. One of them being the half elf that stood up and spoke. He was like, this is not a good idea. But
The
outnumbered.
Yenins have it.
Yep. So the 10 of them say, okay, well, we'll clear everything through Yenin, and we'll.
That's okay. We'll just have to kill another sorcerer.
But that's like in the future. That's
I would like to point out.
You
It's,
can see the thread of him becoming sorcerer.
My
King.
bond literally relates exactly to this.
Yeah.
so does Stevens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the circle of life, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really
Make one
is.
more life.
Yeah.
All right, well then
This
make
is
me
this
your
is
hand.
like this is like if this like new saving throw show were to be a series of movies made into 6 movies, this would be, I think, episode 3 or maybe the end of 2 for those movies. And we've yet to see what happens in 4, 5, and 6, but I could guess.
We can all guess.
Everyone can.
Turn this
We can also know
republic to the first galactic empire.
As long as we're past the first one with the
Yeah,
the
first one
character.
yeah.
the first one is what we like bullshitted about, like with our bonds and shit. And, like
Our
nobody
thigh
needs to see
cream
that.
died, luckily.
That's like, I mean, that would be like making your like all the bonds that you guys have. That's like making those into an entire movie, which no one would ever
Yeah.
do.
No
because
one.
there's
Except
just
for-
nothing to watch.
Except for our Jar Jar is still around.
Well, yeah. That's the difference.
Oh, how
Somehow,
dare you!
somehow,
How dare you,
somehow
sir.
the audience actually liked Jar Jar in this version and like demanded that he come back for the second episode.
But the audience still does not like Emperor Palpatine.
Yep, and in both, there's so many good parallels because like
A lot of good parallels.
Star Wars fans and people who watch this show are terrible people, like not worth talking to as a general rule.
Ugh.
But they throw a lot of money at it for some reason.
Yeah. Speaking of which, please send us some donations today, guys. Get active, or go onto Patreon and back us. I want to give some new bonds to these guys, and I want to have
'cause
some.
We're probably gonna maybe fill a few more in this round, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it could be. I don't know what the situation is with your bonds. But so make sure that you're in our Patreon so we can get new bonds out to people. The meeting finishes, everything is fine, and you guys, your scout actually comes back at the end of the meeting and lets you know it was just you had 2 elves that you had hired. Just kind of didn't want too big of a party following. You wanted to keep it pretty small. So the 2 elves come back to you and introduce themselves. So this is interesting. This is what we found. There were only 4 of them this time, which was good. So we were actually able to very carefully and quietly harry and harass them, and slowly wore them down until there was only 1 remaining. Followed the one back for another day or so until they got really tired out of water. And then at that point, we tortured them for the information.
I am all about this. I
Not exactly
That's
what I
fine.
told you to do.
We
but-
were meant to follow and get information, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
I like the way you're thinking.
That is what we intended. That is what we attempted to
So
do.
you
I'm sorry.
did get the information about where they're stationed.
Yeah, actually, all of them are soldiers.
For what army?
The city of Uruk.
Ah, alas, that city. I knew it well.
Yeah.
Are they? So they
I went to
active?
Yorick before.
Yeah.
Are they
It's
active?
the nearest city to Tyr.
Are they?
To
ac-
Tyr. It's the nearest city to Tyr.
Near
Yeah.
city.
Are they active soldiers? Like, are they mercenaries who used to be soldiers?
They're active. They were active soldiers
What
for the
happened,
city.
we're about
what
to
happened
go
when we
to-
were in Yorick? What were we doing there?
Wait, is that the city where
I think
we...
just passing through. I
Yeah.
don't think you
That
ever
wasn't
really
the
did
town
much of
where we-
anything in there.
No, that was the other campaign. Where we, left the people to die.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of the stuff that we've done.
Seems right.
It all starts to blend together.
It
after
does,
a
doesn't
while.
it? So yeah, they're soldiers employed by the Sorcerer King in Uruk.
Oh, they have their own Sorcerer King. Of course they do.
Every city has a
wouldn't they?
Sorcerer King, of course. Yes.
Well,
This is probably test. He probably knows Sorcerer King is dead, and he's testing our defenses because he wants to take over.
so should we go expand our town? I'm not
Well,
opposed to taking over another city.
Here's
The,
what
the elves both step back and are like, we just wanted to give you information. This conversation is already way too far for us.
Sure.
Absolutely. And I pull out some plastic.
No, ceramic, plastic.
Ceramic, sorry.
Plastic was
Oh.
the dog game.
Yeah.
The dog game
The dog game.
we
Yeah,
played
sorry.
Monday.
Which,
Go
by
down
the way,
to
was a
the
lot of fun.
merciful mecha lad. Find Katie, she'll take care of you.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. The 2 elves go walking off.
I say, we start our own military.
I mean, this is obviously
that.
next step. We have the means. We have weapons. We just need
We've got a forge.
we have entire armory in Sorcerer King's tower of weapons. We just need soldiers.
I'm pretty sure Frankie knows some people.
I mean, yes, he knows
Well,
people.
why don't we conscript an army? We'll pay them. We'll they'll do them how we should build a
It's
normal
good.
army.
Oh, okay.
It's
yeah,
good
yeah,
work.
We could do that too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like Frankie's people, they are not, I mean, they are good at what they do, but we are asking for people who wear armor and stand outside all day kind of people.
We'll find
Oh,
some.
no. I was just saying Frankie probably knows where we could get some things and people. He's probably talked to some people.
Yeah, yes.
Our enforcers will stay in the mine.
I imagine have newsreader go around asking people to volunteer.
Yeah,
or-
we'll sort of thing. We'll grab some higher ups in the alliance and make them some
maybe
captains and generals.
yeah, maybe
What about the gladiators?
maybe not
they
the
got
people
nothing
who
to do.
didn't vote for me don't get this job.
Sure.
Maybe those people don't get control of our armed forces.
Well, we won't take any council members.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take some of the people that were cell leaders and such.
Yeah, so you're able to gather up lieutenants and sergeants and put together the beginnings of kind of an officer corps for your military. You don't have any soldiers yet, but you have you're able to kind of conscript enough people to have the core of an officer corps, and you specifically make sure to only pick people who are loyal to you, which is also really dangerous.
Super dangerous.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe
There's already a new veiled alliance
Maybe,
that is
yeah.
forming.
I was gonna say
Yeah, the minority party is the veiled alliance.
Yes.
The two-party system, the party that has power and the party that doesn't.
on my downtime, I like to go and drink with the ones that did not necessarily vote for the Sorcerer King.
Yeah.
And
Is that
build
just what
up.
we're calling me now?
The Sorcerer King.
SK.
Well, I mean, we could theoretically. I will not treat him like a sorcerer king, but it wouldn't hurt our standings with other cities to
have one.
To have one.
This is what I said days ago.
And I mean, I like being the voice behind the Sorcerer King. So
Yeah, in fact,
I'll be the hand of the sorcerer.
Yep. And actually, Ember.
Gone, like, so
Yeah,
like.
Yeah, this is not the game
that
I was
being
planning
said,
on.
we don't have slaves. Like we're still a much better.
We're gonna pay the military.
We're paying the military. Like these are all just titles.
Yep, for now they're all just titles.
Hey.
Yeah, actually, at one point, the new second in command in the military, because the first in command, of course, is Sislak, is the supreme general of the military.
Yeah.
Obviously.
The second in command comes up to you, Ember, and actually asks do you think it would be possible for you to make any of those, and teach people how to use them? I mean, I know it would take a long time, but maybe even if it's just like a worse version of that, if we provided you with the materials.
So I apparently know something about guns, right?
Well, yeah,
Well-
you have much to teach me about the way of the gun, whether you know it or not. So
Gotcha.
we don't really know.
Yeah.
Because I want to stumble it. I don't know exactly how, but I feel like I'm like, this might work for something. And like
Yeah.
spin something.
Yeah.
But yes, I could. I can. I can.
That would it would be very helpful. It's nothing at this point.
Army's gonna have firearms.
We could
Oh,
try to
God.
make like the old Japanese guns that you see where it's just like a tube
the
and they would
arcades,
just like
basically.
shove. They just shove
Yeah.
like flint or
Yeah.
like just like it was just like a cannon basically you would hold.
Rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best case scenario, that's what they're going to
That's
be able
what
to actually.
They're not
make.
going to be my guns.
No, well, because your guns are actually more from like a bygone era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your father knew how to, kind of how to he was able to, which the same you're able to kind of change it around and work with the base of what you have. Like it's a customizable base, which is what you have. But to actually be able to replicate what you have is impossible.
But imagine
yeah,
how crazy
those are
it
the
would
type
be. An army comes to go after us, and our dudes have a bunch of little tubes that look like dragons that fire just the loud noises. Even if they're not that effective. That's scary as hell.
I'm just going to call them hand dragons.
Yeah, hand dragons. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or what's your race?
Yeah, it's the Dre.
Hand
Hand
Dre.
dray.
That's awesome. The hand
The
ray.
hand dray.
Ah, the hand tray. I see you've
Bond
been.
solved.
I have much to teach you about the way of the hand tray.
The
What do you use
the third
for, like,
generation
explosive
is the
power?
Handray 3000.
Like what do the guns use for
It's just like black powder.
Not enough people heard that.
like where's
Yeah.
the black like
I'm not
is black
gonna say
powder
much.
like a thing in this
Doesn't matter, it's
in
not
this
good.
world?
It was all right.
I can craft it. I can craft black powder.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can kind of pass that on to other people
can't
well
read.
enough
Yeah.
But I can
that
make
they
guns
can
and
kind of
black
like
powder.
half-ass do it very slowly. Like if they had the whole city, like the whole military structure working behind this, they might be able to employ like a dozen people creating, like
Sure.
being able to get like one small unit of like a dozen people with firearms that aren't as good as yours. is
I've
the
been
idea.
Sorcerer King 2 days. I already create so many jobs.
The military was my idea.
It's a good point.
And I lead it.
I just get to pick
yeah,
guns.
I mean like we'll just have like a sort of like Tyrion's little group of people making wildfire.
Yep.
We'll just have like a group of
The
people
very
just making
small-
black powder.
Exactly. It's a small group that can even handle it, and even then they can't do it as well as you, but it's
Yeah.
something. And maybe in the long term it'll turn into something.
And I would like to, absolutely make sure that I'm on a regular basis drinking with not only the leaders of the military that we've formed, but also still trying to drink and hang out with the ones that weren't so on board. So I'm making as many friends as possible. I want to make a lot of bonds.
Yeah, I hear you. So you guys get back to your
I'm turning
Just
the
in
the old
case.
Coliseum into like a it's like training grounds for the military. If I'm not like a
Teaching them the way of the.
You're kind of like the
mule.
main drill sergeant.
Yeah, I'm
you
like
know?
the
Actually, you're able to. You have a lot of contacts like who are gladiators, and
Yeah.
you can very easily recruit people who are already extremely well trained at fighting for the military, which is a huge advantage to having to train people who have never held a weapon
Yeah.
before.
Yenen's he's gonna go to the half elf who was really against him being the leader, and he says, "Listen, there's growing populace in Undertier, and they are looking for they will need representation. So I was thinking that since you are such competent leader, you could take on representing them as well as your central area, and in doing so, you get stipend from the commerce of this area."
He says, so I wouldn't lose any of my current. I
No.
would still represent my current area. This would just be in addition to
Yes.
that.
In addition, you would also take the smaller Undertier under your representation.
And because I would be working much harder than the other counselors, I would get paid a little
Yeah.
more.
Yes.
That seems fair. That seems very fair. You are now bribing people.
Man, this is so much fun.
yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be
just-
fun. It's gonna be
I
fun.
want
This
this to go
so
south.
different.
So I think
gonna.
I think like
We're giving them guns, man.
depending on what happens next time, I think that we should, train up this military. I think we should go like not with the intention of sieging the place, but we should go.
A show of force.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go show up at the doorstep and do a bit of raiding of our
Yep.
own.
As you guys return to the manor, to your home base on the outskirts of the city, Eodan is actually waiting for you, and he
Well, hello, sleepyhead.
weakly hails you as you come in the door, and he says, "Oh, I keep seeing things. Oh, something bad is happening. Something really bad is happening." And his eyes at this point are completely blacked over. He's like,
He seems himself.
I mean, again, other
I
than
mean,
being real tore up.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he doesn't
He's not
seem
like,
to be
"I see
acting.
something bad."
Yeah, it's his voice isn't off. It's he's like
He does.
he does. I mean, he says he's like, I keep having these visions that are terrifying, and it's almost like a darkness spreading over the land. I don't know what it means or where it's coming from, but I keep seeing I keep seeing an image of a just a like a ring with spikes coming out of it.
Is it like that one?
No, it's not like that one.
Yen's
checking.
not the biggest
Just
evil in the
checking.
world.
But
Yeah.
would it go with this one? Like if I had both, would they?
Well, they
It's
match.
It's what he's asking.
Would it be a
Would they
faux
look
pas to
very
wear both?
good?
It's he's like, I assume you're pointing to the ring on your finger. If so, no, it looks like it's being held aloft by a clawed hand, and I can't see the figure that's holding it, but it keeps showing
it's like
me
a big
the
ring.
yeah,
like a
it's
chakra.
it's like this big, yeah, like a chakra. But I don't know, I can't tell what it means, but obviously something bad is happening, and also I can't see like at all.
Oh yeah, bro, your eyes are
Yeah.
like black.
Yeah, they feel wet, like extra. Every time I blink, it's like there's something else there. We need to fix this.
All right. Well,
Oh, you're the cleric.
yeah. Is there anything I can
there
do
anything
to help?
I can help you
I
do?
cast as many healing spells as I could on myself, and it doesn't seem to be getting rid
Perhaps
of
we take you to Fire Temple, and they know how to fix.
Let's burn this from yourself.
it. These are my eyes. I don't know.
That's all right. You'll be fine.
Steven shows up next week. Well, while you were gone, we burned out your eyes.
Yeah, sorry, you are blinded.
But he can now
Permanently.
see through the fire.
I don't know.
Okay, so that's where we're going to end for this week.
Great.
And let's see if anybody has anything to resolve, any bonds they want to
I
resolve.
mean, way of the gun.
Yeah. Do you want to resolve that?
Yeah, I think we could resolve that because I think you did it more than once because we did it with making the guns, but then I was also going to do it earlier when you commanded me to go do something and my guns jammed. So it was like, don't try to be too badass all the time, Ember.
Yeah, that's a good lesson to learn. Okay,
Sweet.
so 1 XP for that bond getting resolved.
I definitely have an alignment XP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have lawful, bring balance to a chaotic situation.
Okay.
Yeah. Neutral, discover something about a magical mystery.
Lead
Oh, yeah.
others to undertake just ends.
Yeah, just ends. I mean, that's you clearly brought justice.
Yeah.
For all the miners.
I mean, I guess we could resolve our bond then if you want, Ember, about has great potential to learn from a true leader.
Oh, dope.
I'm imparting wisdom left and right.
Yeah. Okay, so for each alignment that you fulfill, go ahead and mark 1 XP. For each bond you finish, give yourself 1 XP.
But it's only one on the alignments, right?
Yeah,
Like one in the whole
Well,
game, right?
you can do all of them. You can do one per session.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So you should still have at least. I think you should all have at least one alignment thing that you can still fulfill.
Oh, so you can only fulfill these once
Yeah,
per
character.
total.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Then I should probably mark off another one. I'll do lawful last time. And then do we get, what were the other things we can get?
Bonds, and then you overcame an obstacle. You defeated a great foe, so that's another 2 XP. I would say regaining the forge would count as loot. I mean, you basically recovered an entire city, so that counts as as looting stuff. And then I would say an extra XP for uncovering a new front. Actually, I would say 2 XP for uncovering, because you uncovered 2 new fronts. One being Uruk and the situation developing
leveled up
there,
twice in one
and
game.
then a front developing with Aodan's weirdness.
And then it's
Yep.
7+ level, right?
7 plus level, 2 level.
Cool.
Did anybody level today?
Yes.
I leveled earlier.
I did not.
I took
I was rolling real well today.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I leveled to level 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
already
already at
I was at level 3 with 5 XP already.
Because you had a
Start-
real bad.
So, like, I
Yeah.
literally am like,
Yeah.
I'm level 3 now, and I only have 6
Nice.
XP. I took focus defense for my advanced move, which is when I'm in a stance and I take damage, I can spend 1 focus and leave that stance to negate the damage.
My intelligence goes up to 8, which is the max it can be, so now +3 on that.
Nice.
And I'm taking Arcane Ward, which gives me +2 armor when I have at least 1 prepared spell.
Nice. So you got magical armor at all times.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
still have not taken my last. I'll figure out something. I want to go through the.
Have you decided what you're taking from leveling Ember?
Yeah, I leveled up my intelligence so that I could lose my -1. So now I'm 9.
Nice.
And I took superior guns, which means I reworked my signature firearms with higher quality materials, so I get +2 damage.
Nice. Yeah, you took some of the. You made those half a dozen rounds with the steel, and then with what you had left over, you actually made some beautiful tracking sights.
Wait, do we
on
get
the
to
guns.
level up our stats?
Yeah.
every
level
time-
up
Every time you
Yeah.
go up a level, you get one.
one
You
stat
get to
point.
one stat point.
Oh, I haven't done that at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. So that'll change your modifiers.
Yeah, like I was at a -1 with intelligence initially, and then I realized my commanding shout goes
Uses
off
it.
of intelligence, and I was like, I should probably bring that up a little. So now it's at 1 after 3 levels.
Okay, so I think we're all set. Thank you for tuning in to Dark Sun this afternoon,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
We have not soon, but relatively soon. We're going to be streaming 24 hours again for Alzheimer's. So we did that last year. We're going to do it again this year. Alzheimer's Association is awesome. The fundraiser is called The Longest Day. We'll all be wearing some kind of purple to represent that. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to be doing all sorts of cool games. We'll do Dark Sun as normal, but we have other cool stuff that we're doing. Please continue to pay attention to our Facebook and our Twitter. Make sure you're friending us on Facebook or following us on Facebook, whatever the verbiage is for that now. Following on Twitter. Make sure you're, obviously you need to be following us on Twitch. That's one of the most important things you can be doing so that you know when we're going live. You can follow me at Mrs. Hongraham on Twitter. And Eric, where can they find you?
They can follow me on Twitter at Duncor, DUNCOR, or on my podcast website, justcoolenough.com.
What do you talk about on that podcast?
Just whatever we feel like talking about.
Sweet. Pop culture nerd stuff? Or?
Yeah, that or our days or.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can find me on all the social media platforms at Axe for Food. And you can also, my improv troupe has got some cool shows coming up. We're going to be at the Last Bookstore on the 25th of June. And we're also going to Vegas for Leviosa. That's the show that shall not be named. It's a Harry Potter themed improv group. So check that out.
The thing that I love about that is that you took the two Venn diagrams of the nerdiest things that exist, which is Harry Potter and improv, and then put them together. There's like that's for a very specific audience, and every time that audience sees your show, it's their life. They're like, this is the best thing ever for me. This was done only for me.
Yeah. But other people that don't like Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's also
does,
the thing is,
but-
I didn't see a show that you were in, but I saw a show that you weren't in with your group, and I do not know Harry Potter, but it was still just good basic improv. Like it was still good comedy because I still got what was going on because it was funny jokes, not jokes because it's improv, but it's fun and funny without being like so inside baseball that I was like, I do not know what's going on because I've never seen a Harry Potter or read a Harry Potter.
Why not?
So-
They're great.
You know what? I think I would like it. It just never happened. So at some point, I am gonna check it out.
I'll
Definitely
get you
do.
the first book.
Yeah.
He's a necromancer.
Harry Potter is.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
If you
I-
read the whole thing.
I'm gonna be honest. I like it so much knowing that. Like, I really like the idea of somebody.
Make
who's,
sure you get to the end though to find that out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's-
Yeah, I will.
The books are pretty much all good, except for one that's kind of a miss, and half the movies are good.
Yeah.
Ah, that's actually not bad for nerd shit.
Really funny if you go back and watch the first movie and you're like, oh, this is made for children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
Oh, yeah.
watch the last movies and you're like, oh no, these
Yeah.
are not.
The first one.
that's the cool thing about the books.
It kind
too,
of
is, like,
grows with the
Yeah.
demographic,
books,
right?
Books
Books
definitely do.
grew with you as you aged because they came out every year, and it was like as they got older, the books got more in depth and so
Yeah.
forth and so on. So.
That's a really cool way to do something.
And even
I
like the
that.
way that she wrote them.
Oh yeah.
It's like not only is it like, oh, more adult things are happening to these kids, it was also like, oh, because these kids' reading levels are
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
Let me write more
And
like
the
an adult
characters are
now.
growing up. Like, it's
Yeah.
just kind of cool. Max, where can they find you?
My name is Max Crandall. You can find me on Twitter at Max Crandall. And find me on Instagram at whowantskrandy,
Love it.
CRANDY. And watch BoJack Horseman. And then season 3 comes out, I think, in July. So watch out for season 3, BoJack Horseman.
We're gonna have a party.
And yeah, sure, we'll have a party.
I know. I mean, I know it's rough for you, but I love binging shit.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
I much prefer binging stuff. I know that like I'm maybe part of the problem, but fuck watching things on a schedule. Like I'm
great.
so glad to just be able to watch that whole season whenever.
No,
I
yeah.
see it.
Go on
If
Netflix. You can watch
I do it.
2 seasons back to back.
Yeah. Waste my life for 2 days.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
it.
Alyssa?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Alyssa Appleton, or you can go to my website, alyssaAppleton.com, and within the next couple of weeks, I think I'm going to post the first couple of chapters of my book
Nice.
that I've been working on and
Sweet.
editing, and it's a fantasy, and it's sort of like a young adult, but it's a high young adult fantasy, so it's for older teens, so
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah.
High young adult.
adults getting
High young
high.
adult.
Oh, yes.
You'll be able to check that out.
Oh. Ooh, sorry, I didn't realize somebody was new.
I mean, come on, you should have known. Eric is the most straight edge looking guy I've ever seen in my life. And I don't mean that as a bad thing.
No,
Like, you
it's-
just look like a
that's-
nice, clean cut.
That's my stand-up set. Starts with saying that I'm straight edge, but not on purpose. Like,
And then you go and you knock over people's beers in the audience.
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like,
You're
"How
not
dare
allowed
you?
to do
How
that. You're
dare
not allowed to
you?"
do that. All right. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Give us money on Patreon. Tune in for what we got shit on Monday, right? We've got the dungeon.
dungeon fights.
Yeah, Monday night dungeon fight with
Dungeon Fight.
And I
Tom
love
Lovell.
that the map that I lost on is just sitting there staring at me.
the entire game. You've had to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Much appreciated. We'll see you soon. Bye.
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 Keep waving.
Bye.